Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to Stamford Bridge. Well, today, we're going to have a nice and relaxed little video watching thing. The world's not on fire. Well, it is, but I'm ignoring the fire at the moment.
Oh, it's been terrible, and I'm tired of it.
I am
talk about something that is technically not real.
Exactly. I am the proverbial dog inside of the burning house, looking around going, okay, this is fine for now.
Yeah.
I'll worry about my kitchen burning next week. Until then, we are going to watch this video from the completely unknown creators behind some small, silly animated show called Space King.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have been told is popular.
I mean, I've heard people posting, talking about and posting memes. Don't know if that makes it popular or not, but what are you gonna do?
Well, if we're very lucky, it'll overtake the thing it's parodying. And hey, if nothing else, with the upcoming Amazon version of the thing it's parodying, they will be granted plentiful ammunition in a year or so.
Oh my god, it's gonna be shit.
So there was a rumor going out, and this is pulled straight out of one's cavernous anus level, insider sources, trust me, bro level stuff.
Oh yeah, my favorite kind.
But supposedly, Cavill was staying behind late to like correct scripts and stuff.
I mean, I could believe it.
I could. I'm a little bit confused as to how he's doing that whilst he's also filming Highlander at the moment. So
I guess he's actually not, and this is just massive cope.
I'm afraid it is. Like I can believe him doing it because Cavill is the sole singular hope of that show being good. But
yeah,
I don't know if God is quite that merciful.
True, but if anyone was going to do that, it would be Henry Cavill.
Yes. I'm slightly worried by the fact that he needs to stay on after hours to correct all of the mistakes in the script, but still. I just imagine him sitting there hunched over a meeting room table, a giant red pen. The entire page is just red, like, no.
Well, the problem with these kinds of rumors is that that's entirely plausible, right? Like, yep. The people writing the script are shit. Don't know anything about Warhammer, obviously. And the only person around who gives a shit and would do the work is actually staying behind to do the corrections, and that would be Henry Cavill. So while I think this is total BS, it's very plausible BS.
Yes. And I like the sound of it. I want to believe.
Yeah. I want to believe as well.
And I will this into existence. Okay. Let's see what we've got here today then. Why humans in 40k are the good guys. Actually, by Tom and Dan.
Oh, the argument we've been making for many years. Other people like, obviously this is true. It's like, yes, it is.
I know. Well, this is how things go downhill, right? You make the argument, and many years later, it becomes normal. Good.
Yeah, excellent.
The humans are the good guys of 40k, actually. Today we're going to be talking about Warhammer.
I do love their background, by the way, because it's just full of like fan art and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah.
40k and clearing the record about humanity. 40k is supposed to be a satire of fascism and super.
No, well, it might be supposed to be, but it isn't actually.
I don't know if it. I'd even say it was supposed to be a satire of fascism. I mean, I don't like, weirdly, I just don't think fascism comes into it much.
Well, I'm willing to accede the point that when this was created in like the 80s or 70s or whatever, the people who were sitting around there whose definition of fascism was, as Orwell himself pointed out, bullies, that they thought it might be some sort of critique on fascism.
Well, I mean, if you look at like the original Space Marines, they look like Judge Dredd judges, right? And they're acting like Judge Dredd judges.
Yes.
So, but I wouldn't call Judge Dredd fascism. It's something else. So, it's a authoritarian modern state, but that doesn't necessarily automatically mean fascism. Fascism is a thing of its own.
Ah, but see, back then, this is where I say I am willing to accede that the people believed it, because my God, up until just a few years ago, we had no definition of fascism. It didn't exist.
I mean, technically it did. If you were a historian or philosopher, you definitely knew what fascism was because you'd read the books written by the fascists. But since no one else has ever read a book written by a fucking fascist, I guess you're right.
Well, that was the fascinating thing, too, because I did a video on Is 40k fascist many, many, many years ago, and trying to look up a definition of fascism that wasn't the fascists themselves, all of it's just communists. It's communists defining fascism. And obviously they have a very vested interest in making sure that their brand of socialism appears quite different.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see the problem of taking fascists at their own definition. Because it's literally, we want a totalitarian state.
Yeah.
So it's like, right, okay. I mean, I don't need to misrepresent that, right? Like, I can just straightforwardly describe what the fascists want using their own words, and it sounds fucking atrocious. I mean, they are the ones who coined the term totalitarian. If anyone doesn't know. So it's absolutely not a misrepresentation of fascism.
It also exists in the same form of fairy tale setting as its brother socialism, too, where socialism says, we will create utopia. Fascism also says, we will create utopia, but in slightly different ways. And surprise, surprise, neither one actually succeeded in creating utopia.
Correct. And fascism was also a direct response to the failure of socialism at the beginning of the 20th century to have brought about the socialist utopia. Yes. The socialists all knew it failed, and they became either fascists, Fabians, or Leninists, who became Soviets. And this is why, after the World War II, you have a real crisis in Western intellectuals because they became very apparent that the Soviet Union was not communist in the way that they thought it was, in the way that they thought communism was going to be. And so it's just like, right, okay, what does this mean? It means it's unattainable, dumbasses.
But then a fat Italian came around and said, aha, but what if I led the revolution?
Yeah, and not even that. He was the one who came out and said, no, socialism is a dead doctrine. It's failed. We need something else for the future, and that is fascism. And he wrote a whole book, and we've both read it. It's not that fucking complicated.
Right, 12 seconds in, 10-minute rant.
Yeah, sorry, it's just one of those things where we've spent a lot of time thinking and reading and studying about this. So, we are actually very well placed to be able to give a definition of these things and explain what it is and isn't. So, just FYI.
Yes. Also, thank you to Marksman for $50. Arch, you need to show Sargon the AI music video. 1 million Amelias by YouTube channel Skybrow.
I've seen it. Everyone sent it to me.
I was about to say.
Wrong, it's very cool. And it's one of those rare uses of AI where it's actually, this is fucking banging. Uh-huh. Whoever made this put a lot of time and effort into it, generating all of this.
Yep. Amelia has become a quite remarkable nationalist success.
Oh, yeah.
And it is
very popular.
You ignorant.
It is quite lovely that also this came from a government piece of propaganda as well. Somebody is fuming right now over this. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Yeah. That is one of the better bits of it is the fact that they didn't want you to do this.
Nope. For some reason, someone in a government office in London somewhere thought that people would react negatively to the purple-haired alt girl who wants you to be a nationalist.
Yeah. Yeah, weirdly, they thought that you'd be like, ew, no way. Which is bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Dude, you don't want the hot goth girl who wants you to come to the protest with her, do you?
God, no.
Why would I want that?
Societal acceptance from attractive women? That's never been the leading cause for fucking anything before.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. I'm a 16-year-old boy. Why would I want that? Come on, like fucking bros. You didn't think this one through.
And Pyrotech for another 50 as well. Thank you. Surrounded by Ghost Pepper Adel Assassins, I bring money for Overlord to my lead. Survive the Peppers. Thank you, sir.
Buttery bud.
Thank you very much. All right. Proceeding.
Zealous religiosity mixed in with state, but the super fascism of the Imperium is actually logically necessary to avoid extinction.
Aha! Correct. There, of course, lies the... Okay, if we ignore the usage of the word fascism, which in this case is basically just used for authoritarian, correct. Yeah. The Imperium needs to be a hyper-authoritarian state. And even then, it's authoritarian in the same way that centralized government sends out orders to its various subservient groups, peasants, workers, etc. Because there isn't even the capacity for total direct control in a universe spanning the galaxy.
Yeah, that's an important point, right? Is that fascism and fascist governments act like a parasite that grows over the civilization. It wants a lot of things, but what it can do is always circumscribed by reality. And actually, the Imperium is, I mean, honestly, I'd say it's more similar to socialism. It's like Soviet socialism, where... And it, as sort of parodied by George Orwell in 1984, like it doesn't matter what the proles do. It doesn't. The inner party is what gets patrolled by the outer party, and so if you are someone of importance, your opinion matters. If you are some pleb, on a farm planet or something, at the edge of the Imperium, who gives a flying fuck? The government doesn't care about you.
Yep. Government does not care about you unless it needs you to defend it.
Yeah, you might get conscripted, but it's not going to be like, oh, you can't say that. You've got to do this. They're not putting telescreens in your fucking bedroom. They don't care.
No. And when it does do those things too, it's not even to find the guilty. It is to scare everybody else. See, one of the fascinating things about the communist apparatus when it comes to the persecution of thought criminals was its remarkable ability to, how do I put it? Not manufacture, but to, how do I say, almost organically produce, not evidence, but support for an accusation. There was an example in a book I'm reading right now of the Second World War, where a soldier had been heard saying that, he's sad about the war, he doesn't like all of these people are dying, it's a terrible thing. And the commissariat was like, well, this is clearly anti-war sentiment. We're going to have to crack down on this. And after the war, the guy who had been arrested, because he was locked in jail for 10 years after saying this, as the high crime it was, he discovered his own KGB file when it was declassified after the fall of communism. And he found that over a dozen of his comrades had all come forward, collaborating basically any story the KGB officers wanted to have told. Mm-hmm. And all of them were, of course, thus also shielded from persecution by them of their own. It's a fascinating situation where you create for yourself immunity from a system is not designed to punish the guilty, but to rather produce the desired outcome of the government apparatus.
Conformity.
Yeah. Oh, conformity. That's a brilliant. Yeah. Yes. That word.
That's the word. And this is the point that the totalitarian fascist society makes. And in fact, this is explicitly made in the doctrine of fascism, that and again, nothing against the state, nothing outside the state, or whatever the formulation was. I can never remember the exact formulation. But the point is, everything in society has to be moving in exactly the same direction, right? Whereas in a free society, everything moves in all sorts of directions all at once. And you get to choose which direction you want to go and how far you want to go, and whether you can just stop if you don't like it and things like this. All of these things are what are denied in a fascist state, and it's just not really possible to describe the Imperium as something like that. What the Imperium is just a theocracy.
Yes.
Like it's a vast, sprawling imperial theocracy. I mean, it's kind of more like the Spanish Empire or something, where it just extracts resources from wherever it can, and it applies a doctrine, a religious doctrine, with ruthless persecution, literally with an inquisition and things like this. I mean, like, if you were to say the Imperium was modeled off anything, it'd be like a kind of Spain after it discovered the New World,
Yeah, and that's the beauty of using religion for it as well, because religion is, of course, an excellent way to enforce that conformity without needing to even do it directly. God sees everything. There's the God Emperor in one of his many forms staring down at you from a painted ceiling. Anyways, I'm sorry, Tom, Dan, I know I'm sure you're getting to all of these points, but we're excited.
Just to be clear, though, we're excited, but we're also being really pedantic. Right?
Yes.
Like, you are absolutely right, Arch. It's not worth actually arguing the toss over whether it's fascist or not. Yeah, sure, okay, fine. It's a meanie state. That's right. It's a meanie state, therefore it's fascist. Like, and every normal person just views fascist as the meanie thing. So it's like, okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah. Listen, people go to Space King for funny, so they go to us for pedantic nonsense. So that's at great length.
I want a fact check on whether it's really designed to make fun of fascism, because
Fuck!
Based Tom and Dom though. Oh, do you know what's great, right? I have seen, and I shit you not, I have seen woke people arguing that media literacy bros, Space King is making fun of you. It's like, do you not know who the creators of this are? Like, these guys are the chuddest chuds in the world. I love them.
Yeah, there's the thing too. It's like, oh, it's making fun of you. It's a parody, idiot. That's the point. We get it.
Yeah, that's why we like it.
Yes. Like, a parody is just a completely lost art because today we can't separate parody from seriousness. But back when we were young, hundreds of years ago, there was a genre of movies called parody. Now, most of you young people will never have heard of this. But it was the idea of taking established tropes in a media genre, or indeed in a single movie, and blowing it over the top and making it funny and comedic by adding in, irreverent elements to it. Movies like Spaceballs or Hot Shots. And these were very popular until, again, it became impossible to separate parody from reality.
And moreover, the great thing about parody is it kind of adheres to the maxim, never many a truth said in jest.
Yes.
Right. So as in you actually can say true things in a funny way using a particular frame that everyone can still enjoy. And this is what Tom and Don do with Space King. They say a bunch of true things. And they say this in this little sort of podcast style format they have here as well. That actually, the point of Space Marines, it is a warrior monk brotherhood. And you can't introduce women to that without changing the nature of what a brotherhood of warrior monks is.
Yes.
And therefore, there can't be, on a moral level, female Space Marines. You change the nature of Space Marines themselves. And actually, we like the Space Marines, so we'd like you to not change it, please. And this is a point that obviously they parody in Space King, but it makes the point. And they've said it explicitly as well. So, the media literacy crowd, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Do you not understand that you're the ones arguing that the author's intent matters, and the authors here will tell you to your face, no girls allowed.
Yep. Right. Well, we wasted 20 minutes on analysis that was debunked in the first 26 seconds of the video, so I'll try to show more patience.
I like it, though.
Because that's the shit you hear trotting about, but where's the proof? Who said that?
Drop a fact check on screen. Use an AI voice sped up.
Shut the fuck up.
So today we're going...
All right, I want to Oh, look at that. Because, yes, this is like... Warhammer 40k is fundamentally intense side of fascism among other authoritarian ideologies. And that's the thing. Intense side of fascism among other authoritarian ideologies. That's the thing. The definition of fascism in the mind of the average idiot today is authoritarian.
Yeah. Just bad thing.
Yes. And that's the thing. Created in the 1980s, when we had no functional definition of fascism outside of bully...
Well, I mean, back then they used to call the Soviets red fascists.
Yes.
Like, they literally would say, oh, the Soviet Union is fascist. It's like, well, I mean, if for a given definition of fascism, sure.
I mean, hell, today, we've arrived at the point where moderation is fascism, bedtimes is fascism, everything is fucking fascism.
Yeah.
Somehow, as we continue to learn more about this thing, our definition of it continued to grow vaguer and vaguer.
AI voice sped up.
Shut the fuck up.
So today we're going to look at the evil things that the Imperium is accused of by the hordes of unwashed masses online, and why they're actually entirely right and justified.
Entry number 1. Daily sacrifice of psychers to the Golden Throne. The Imperium rounds up roughly 1,000 innocent psychers every day.
No such thing as an innocent psyker.
Just a quick thing. I've seen this being said as 1,000 or 10,000. I take it that the source material is not entirely consistent on this point.
I think it's 1,000.
I thought it was 1,000 too, but I've seen other things where it says 10,000, right? So, I assume it's just various writers have...
I mean, listen. We have J Games Workshop confusing the Night Lords with the Ultramarines these days, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just added in another 0 at some point for shits and giggles.
Okay, just checking.
And sacrifices them to the Golden Throne to sustain the Emperor's psychic presence, enabling Astronomicon navigation and preventing total collapse of warp travel across the Imperium.
And there, of course, is the big thing. If you don't do this, well, the Imperium just stops. It just disappears.
Yeah. Things get a lot worse very quickly.
Yes. The last time this happened, we called it Old Night, and it was the event that broke humanity.
Well, just let me lay that down for the normies watching who aren't fucking turbo dorks like us. Imagine the entirety of the globe is relying
would they be
on
watching
a
this
single...
video?
Oh, I mean, Space King is kind of beginning to break into the normie sphere now because it's become cool.
Also, I think because Warhammer has reached a kind of critical mass as well.
It has, unfortunately. That's also, by the way, why I'm very happy that the creators of Space King are so blatantly gatekeeping this thing, too.
Oh, God, yeah, I love it.
Lighthouse. All navigations, airplanes, FedEx. If you want your fucking Funko Pops to arrive before Christmas, it's dependent on these navigation systems. Now imagine they're all powered by this one lighthouse. And if that goes down, the whole system collapses and you have to beat each other to death with rocks again, like days of yore. What price would be too much to keep that going? Because that's what this is.
Great question.
Yes. Like, a better analogy would be it's electricity. We are utterly dependent upon it. If it goes away, we're just fucked.
Yeah, there's no plan B.
Yes. Society ends. Just overnight.
We go back to being cavemen, basically. Or medievals.
Yes.
So, you know.
Emperor dies, literally I'm sorry. Literally humanity is fucking doomed. Doomed! If the Emperor dies, so, you know, he's... Plus, also, aren't Psychers, like, potential vessels to demons coming out and, like, killing everyone if they're not controlled?
Yes, and this is another thing as well. The Psychers used for the Golden Thrones are the Psychers that are deemed either too powerful, too unpredictable or uncontrollable, or those who cannot be trained properly. They're the ones used. The other ones aren't actually trained to be sanctioned Psychers, or a handful of them might be used for things like astrotelepathic communication, but... Again, like, these are dangerous individuals within the Imperium to begin with, and secondly, even if they weren't, I don't want human society to collapse.
Such an outrageous demand. I would rather if society didn't collapse.
The video is too quiet. It's louder than Sargon on my end, but okay, I'll increase the sound.
Well, I can probably increase the sound of my mic, actually. Yeah.
A bunch of problems anyway.
Yeah, what's next? Consider that fucking put to bed. Necessary. Boom, necessary.
You're an adult! At least that's what our YouTube demographics say. Which means...
I dispute this assertion. Fuck you very much.
I don't even have to question whether I'm an adult. I know how much tax I fucking pay.
Yeah, by that definition, I'm an adult too, but I don't want to be.
Sure, but like I got no choice. Not, the only thing I just don't want is to pay tax.
Heresy's the question. Fire.
I got too many kids to be like, oh, I don't want to be in. No, I got responsibilities, man.
My responsibilities do not make me an adult. I don't want to be one. This is why I still occasionally eat waffles for dinner, just to remind myself that it's not over yet.
Means you're probably watching this from a sad padded cell you've been meaning to decorate for years, neutered of all the joy and creativity you once had. Luckily, there's a way out with this video's sponsor, Displate. Displate's sleek metal posters let you break free from the millennial gray monotony with over 2
Can we
million
skip the
designs
advert?
I hope so.
to board of the blades fortified. Put up. You get waiting.
Not that I don't love
32%.
Displate or whatever.
Thank you for
but, like,
Imperial authorities
back to the video.
But it might be funny too.
Exterminatus of entire worlds.
I probably would
Imperial
have been.
Exterminatus. It's not only good, it's cool.
I have lost.
I mean, it is cool.
Yes.
authorities regularly enact exterminatus, destroying all life on a planet, often billions or trillions of civilians, to prevent chaos, tyrannid, or xenos contamination from spreading. Justification? Easy. If a whole world...
and the people who are like, get in your fucking homes because grandma's going to catch COVID are going to be like, no, you're not allowed to have civilian collateral damage. Fuck off. Fuck yourselves. This is the same thing, just at a different scale.
Plunged to either demonic incursion, where everyone is getting pegged to death by Slaneshi demons, or the Tyrannids are just going to strip it of all of its biomass and use it to make more warriors and stuff. Like...
Yes. Exterminatus is not something that the Imperium does for fun. It's something that only the Inquisition can carry out, basically, the highest level of authority. And it's only used in dire strategic need.
Yeah, the mistake that people have when conceiving of Exterminatus is they think that, oh, look, here is a nice innocent planet that's got a long future ahead of it. For some reason, the meanie Imperium has come along and decided they're all going to die. No, they're all going to die. Right? They're all already going to die. There is something that is terribly wrong that is going to happen to them that is going to be awful. And to prevent the thing that is going to kill them all from benefiting from killing them all, you Exterminatus it.
I have lost.
Yes. Something needs to be pretty seriously wrong for a plan to get Exterminatus. And this is, in fact, one of the very few things that can get an Inquisitor audited by his own people. Like... random use of Exterminatus is like the one thing an Inquisitor does that will actually get other Inquisitors to check him out and see if he's going nuts or something.
Yeah, fucking blow the shit up. We do that all the time, and it makes sense, like, in wars of yore. That's my word.
Yes, this is basically the scorched earth tactic of the Soviet Union, but on a larger scale.
Yeah.
For today. In wars of yore, you burn the grain fields so the stupid fucking Romans who come to your little island, which was doing nothing wrong, and try and steal your shit, you burn...
You ignorant...
Well, firstly, bold of you to assume the Britons had grain fields.
Yeah, we probably didn't. We had lovely bogs full of peat, though, okay?
Yep.
And the Romans are like, give us your peat bogs. And we're like, what? But we're sitting in these. Why'd you need a fucking peat bogs? Literally, Karaticus goes to Rome. It's like, how can you cover our tents when you live in a city of marble? And it's a pretty good question, to be honest. I don't know what the Romans' obsession was.
The Britons were sitting around eating their frogs, and the Romans were like, we're going to have one out of every 3 frogs granted to us as tribute.
Yeah, literally. So like, we were actually illiterate savages. Don't know what their problem is.
Are you ready to rut this
Burn it
yellow
down
hair
so they have a hard time.
So this is going to be the common theme of this whole video, is the problem of chaos. In your fiction, you introduce this thing that's so powerful and corrosive that if there's just a little drip of it, it legitimately poses this threat to the entire planet anyway. So it very quickly becomes rational. Yeah, we have to blow up the whole planet and kill 1 trillion people.
Plus also,
And the thing is, just to pause it there, the thing is, well, it's literally like, you know, you sit down with the progressive to eat, they put a sandwich in front of your face, and there is a tiny, tiny sphere of shit on the sandwich. And they're like, are you going to eat? And you're like, no, I'm going to throw the entire sandwich away. What? You're going to waste that whole sandwich? Because that one tiny bit of shit? It's like, yeah, I am. I'm going to waste that whole fucking sandwich because it's all tainted now. It's all corrupted. The whole thing is going to become, you know, it's going to be horrible. Obviously I am. And it's the same fucking principle, just magnified upwards. Unfortunately, you have a chaos infestation. If it's so bad that you can't stop it, all of these people are going to die, and then they're going to kill loads more people. It's like fucking, like a zombie movie or something. You know, it's like, yeah, no, you have to kill him. He's infected. Sorry. You know, these are the fucking rules.
Yep. Chaos is dangerous, turns are dangerous, and orcs are dangerous too. Like, people don't talk about that enough, but you gotta remember, when orc spores get into an ecosystem, you basically can't eradicate them. They're gonna be there forever now. They're just a threat to your planet for eternity.
Spawning orcs.
Yes.
It's like, guys, you don't actually want orcs spawning everywhere.
And again, in all of these cases, local authorities will do everything in their power to try and fix the situation first. The PDF will fight, the Imperial Guard will fight, etc. Only when shit has gotten to the point of just like, okay, well, this is pointless, do they burn the planet. Plus, it's also just an extraordinarily effective storytelling tool as well to give you an idea of how fucking dangerous this universe is. Yes, there exists circumstances in 40k where blowing up a planet is the rational, measured thing to do.
And not just that, it saves lives.
Yes.
Blowing up this planet saves countless trillions of lives. You're welcome.
Yes.
also, like, there's loads of people. What's 1 trillion?
Well, yeah, so you get into this consequentialist thing of this many people die now saves X number of people, you know? People say, oh, well, if it was all about consequentialism, then you could go to the doctors, right? And you'd think you're just going in for a checkup, but he, like, puts you to sleep and harvests your organs to save 5 people that need organs right now or they're gonna die. And some
I mean, yes, but we're not quite in that situation. I do get the argument, though, but here's the thing. Well, when we're talking about the threats on the scales of 40k, we are talking about just trillions of people. And we are talking about the destruction of human civilization at large. This basically comes down to a scale question, right? Because this is baby's first moral quandary, right?
Yeah.
If by torturing a child, a completely innocent child, you allow humanity to continue, do you do it? Most people say yes. Okay. If doing the same will save 1 million people, do you do it? And then you keep going until you hit that limit that all people have, that arbitrary moral limit where you go, no.
I feel like this is a question I'm being asked on Epstein's Island or something.
Yes.
Epstein's like, but it's going to save 1 life. Do you not want to torture this child? It's like, no, Jeffrey, I really don't. How did I get here?
Again, I fondly imagine that Jeffrey Epstein was holding off a demon invasion by sacrificing kids on his island, because it's the only way...
Sure that's not the case.
Listen, I want to believe it because it's the only way I can rationalize this, as we're not just ruled by pedophile monsters.
I think we might just be ruled by pedophile monsters.
I know, but I don't want to believe that.
Yet another reason why I fucking hate paying taxes.
It's a really fucking depressing idea.
Fucking hate it so much, man.
I prefer my fanciful interpretation that somehow Epstein was fighting demons in his basement. Let me hold on to this delusion of mine.
I'm sorry.
Some some people would argue, well, by consequentialism, that would be better. Just like we're saying, well, we kill this planet and save all these other planets, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, it's never just going to be a binary, is it? How about if you go to the doctors and instead of saving 5 people, he steals your organs to save the entire fucking planet? I mean, you might say no, but that's why you weigh it up. It's not just a binary like, well, we do entirely consequentialism and nothing else.
It's about scale.
Yeah, it's about scale.
Correct. Damn. They might present themselves as idiots, but I think they're actually surprisingly clever.
They are clever lads.
Yes.
I've been watching this stuff for years. I know they're clever.
It's clear. It's coming across very clearly from this video right here. They obviously understand these things.
Yeah.
Which is why I shouldn't jump to the conclusion every fucking time. But hey, that's why you watch this.
Yeah.
Arch's going through the first stage of grieving. Correct, chat.
It's just to admit there is a problem, Arch. That's the first stage.
I know, but the problem is then we arrive at some point at the solution, and the solution is going to have to be declaring war on the entire system.
Yeah, the solution has to be pretty rough, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've read Virginia Guthrie's book, I'm reading it at the moment, and he was definitely essentially pimping these girls out to your favorite prominent scientist.
Are you ready to rut this
your, popular, famous media personalities, stuff like that, like celebrities. Definitely. I think was it I can't remember which one, Chris Tucker or something, who went to his island like 30 times. It's like, oh right, okay.
Yep. News anchors, entertainers, billionaires, the people owning all of them, politicians, all of them.
Yeah. So no one who went there can be assumed to be innocent.
And the problem is,
even
that
Stephen Hawking.
If we allow this line of logic to continue, we must come to the conclusion that we're the planet in need of exterminatus, and that just kind of sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the frame we should approach it in is what is good for advancing the safety, prosperity, and strength of the human race. And if, like, when you've got gangrene in a limb, you cut the limb off. It's like, but you're cutting off a limb. It's like, I know, but I have to, because I can logically extrapolate the future. What happens if I leave my hand gangrenous? Well, I die. And so it's the same principle with, if you look at the human race as an organism, at a body, it's the same principle with planets that have to be exterminatus. Yeah, nobody wants to exterminatus a planet, but we'll all die if we don't. So we have to.
Yep.
Scale and impact, you fucking idiot.
And I wonder how repetitive this video is going to be, because it more or less boils down to the same argument every
Dude,
time.
I'll keep beating them over the head with this until they get it. What's next? Boom, justified. Has to happen.
Number 3,
Correct.
genocide of peaceful Xeno civilizations.
No fucking such thing. Look at these peaceful aliens. Oh, wow, they are cute. What do? They lay egg in humans' brains and hatch their younglings by busting out of their skulls. Oh, okay.
That's peaceful.
What about this other civilization? Oh, it is actually peaceful. Oh, cool. Why are we exterminating them? We need bullets, and they have a lot of resources. Okay.
Well, I was on the side of the humans in Avatar anyway.
Yeah. Unironically, it's the same argument on the larger scale. See, James Cameron fucked up so hard with those movies. Because he states, okay, Earth is dying, right?
Yeah.
And Pandora can save us. Yes. Fuck it. Exterminate the blueies, then.
We just need to get that unobtainium. Good name.
Oh, God. It was so bad that in the next movie, they just transitioned from magical yellow liquid instead that stops aging.
Oh, well, yeah.
Listen, this planet is full of all kinds of crazy shit that's unfathomably useful, and Earth is dying. I'm sorry, blue people, but...
Well, moreover, why are the blue people so resistant to negotiation on this? Like, we come desperate to you, saying, look, we're dying, we need your help. And they're like, no. Oh, right, thanks. Okay. Well, I mean, we're pretty desperate.
Yeah, so desperate that we will do other things if necessary.
Trick or
Yeah.
treat.
Look at all these guns we got.
And the problem with this is, it's a problem in the first movie, where obviously the avatars are just the good guys. That's the only explanation you need. They're just the good guys. Therefore, all actions they do are just, and we are the bad guys. All actions we do are unjust. But
Yeah, that's not how I watched it.
Jake Sully's approach to this makes it so clear that he's basically already been brainwashed by Awa, because he's sitting there like, we have nothing to offer them. Really? These fuckers haven't figured out refrigeration yet, and we, the space-age civilization, have nothing we can teach them. What about agriculture? What about math? What about fucking taking pictures? It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Do you even need to answer this one? Maybe because they're fucking gross. You ever think about that? 3 eyes, 4 limbs. Does that seem normal to you?
Boom, justified.
Boom, justified. Fucking gross.
Sorry.
Yes. And also, again, too, 1, most alien species are unfriendly, and 2, if they've got shit we want, well, too fucking bad. And even then,
There's a pecking order.
this is a thing as well. There are actually alliances with Xenos races within the Imperium as well. If
Yeah, like the Jakaro.
Yeah, like if the Imperium can get what they want through negotiations, they'll do that first. They're not just mad genocidal maniacs either, or they'll happily do it when they need to, but if they can get what they want.
Yeah, that's a great point, right? Like, because if you think about the you know, you get those sort of like mysterious alien races that the Emperor and the Space Marines originally exterminated. They're always hostile.
Yes.
They're always like, you know, evil alien races that are attacking humans. So it's not like it was just for no reason. And there are examples, as you said, of where it's not the case. So, I mean, I think it's just being caricatured at this point.
Yes. It's the normie coming into the setting and seeing the meme going like, Xenos must die. It's like, oh, that's right. Oh, that's all they do. Like, oh, that's what they do a lot of the time, but...
Yeah, but a lot of the time they fucking deserve it.
Well, anyways,
Don loves to talk about skull shapes. Go ahead.
Imperial doctrine mandates the eradication of all alien species, even those that are non-hostile or diplomatically inclined, under the belief that coexistence is heresy. The justification
I love
given...
that they're using the Tyranids as the example here. Like, I mean, like, coexistence is not the question when we're dealing with the Tyranids.
I have lost.
Is imperial history records countless examples of initially peaceful Xeno species later turning predatory or subversive.
Dude, I was gonna say that was gonna be my reasoning without even knowing it's the Imperium's reasoning. I'm so aligned.
Yeah, fascism.
Well, that's not what I said.
And the thing is, too, this also is just a natural sort of things, right? When...
Yeah.
In the case of galactic diplomacy, if we, as a species, encountered another alien species that we find utterly repulsive, but they're just like, oh, we're a lot more powerful than you. Like, we could just wipe you off the fucking map. Our first initial reaction will be, oh, benevolent, kind overlords, we love you. If, however, we ever arrive in a position where we are equivalent to them, or God help the aliens, stronger...
Mm-hmm.
Odds are the tune will change.
Just to be clear, I'm a human supremacist as well.
Of course. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Don't care. Didn't ask.
So...
This is all bulletproof satire.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you come across the Tau, and they're little blue fish people in caves. You're like, what am I going to do? Just kill these innocent fish people? You come back 3,000 years later, and they're shooting railguns at... they're shooting railguns at you. And...
Exactly. The Imperium's failure to eradicate the fucking Tau upon discovery has come to bite it in the ass, hasn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, it's a great point.
as soon as every alien species is gone, there'll be peace. We'll all get along.
This gets back to the satire thing. The whole point in satire is to set up kind of a thought experiment with fiction to illuminate a truth about reality, like our own society, right? But if the thought experiment equals, actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Does this one make a lot of sense?
Well, if...
I was just being funny.
if in world they tend to grow up to be the Tau, you know,
Yeah.
So do you think 40k should have hardcore subjugation and colonialism? Right?
You're like, this is effective satire of fascism because instead we could be 19th century expansionists.
But if they were 19th century expansionists, it would track with what they have to do to survive.
But I don't know if history, like, really helps the case of that here.
Oh, because they tend to get repelled and then...
Because eventually you get kicked out and the people that you can't...
Now there's the thing. Colonialism didn't end because the natives threw us out. Colonialism
I was literally about to say that.
It ended because we looked at ourselves and thought, wow, we're being so mean to these poor people. We should leave.
It was moral collapse. It
Yes.
wasn't a physical lack of power.
Because again, okay, I wanted to see where they were going with this, but to run it back a little bit, yes, the idea of satire is in many ways to set up a thought experiment. Now, not satire explicitly, but the idea of this.
Oh,
And-
satire is explicitly critical.
Yes. Because in this case, you set up a thought experiment, but in this world, it is justified. The majority of alien races are either outright aggressive or incredibly hostile. And again,
Yeah.
we haven't even covered many of the major Xenos Empire within 40k, the less known ones as well. Pretty much all of them are horrific Xenos monsters. Like, isn't they? The humanoid-looking ones, the ones that we can look at and go like, oh, you're kind of human-looking, I can empathize with you. They are the minority compared to shit like... I always forget their name, but there's a massive Xenos empire of basically monstrous wasp things that are utterly alien, that just kill everything in front of them, because they too are like, no, we're the dominant species, fuck you.
And also, what we do when we do these sort of analyses is sit in our nice heated rooms with a full cup of coffee, and we sit there and go, well, let me sniff my own farts for 5 minutes about what actual morality really consists in. And it's like, okay, yeah, but I mean, I think it's worth remembering that if you are actually a person actually engaged in existential wars with various alien species, like, you're probably going to get to the point where you're like, look, we've just got to, like, there's just too many really hostile species out here. We're just going to have to deal with them quickly, just in case. Like the Tau being a great example of, you can't really trust any of them not to eventually become a massive problem. So for security reasons, probably best we just get rid of them. Right? You know, we are sat from our very safe and comfortable position condemning people that I don't think I would actually condemn were I a part of the actual problems they have to endure.
Yes.
Kind of did some whoopsies against, don't like you very much.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, we had the biggest power disparity ever, and we still got fucking booted out of a bunch of places because appetite for it left. Like, we drained all of our treasure with a bunch of shit. We're just like, man, we can't keep doing this. Too expensive.
So what is the Imperium?
Now that is actually one of the good arguments against colonialism. Too fucking expensive.
Yeah.
God
It
damn.
costs a fortune to babysit the world.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. The common perception is often that Europeans moved into these places and they were just mountains of gold and diamonds and coffee beans ready to be harvested, plucked off the vine. No. All of this infrastructure had to be created. And the worst part is, even in the case where they did come across mountains of gold, like the Spaniards and the Portuguese, for example, against certain Middle American tribes, you know what actually happened? They brought all that shit home and fucking crashed their own economies.
Yeah. And then they also rendered the places that they'd taken this from impoverished.
Yes.
So it's like, great. Now you don't have any of these things and your money is worthless.
Yes. Like, literally, the enormous success of the Spanish conquistadors led directly to the destruction of the Spanish Empire.
You ignorant slut.
Yeah. And also the Spaniards were awful.
Yes.
Fucking awful. Just to whoever they conquered. It's not even joking.
Meanwhile, like colonial empires like the British, the Germans, and even the French, and to some extent the Portuguese, when they moved into places like Africa, they needed to build everything from the ground up. The ports, the cities, the infrastructure. They literally constructed nations from bare clay. The cost was unfathomable, to the point where all of these countries combined only had a handful of actually profitable colonies.
Yeah. And also, it's another thing worth remembering is that the money often wasn't really going to the government, right? Because what the point of the empire is to secure trade routes, especially in the state of the British Empire. It was essentially a giant mercantile endeavor, and this meant that the average person, like almost every colony Britain had, began as a private endeavor. The American colonies were literally people just sailing over to the New World, and like Puritans setting up colonies in the New World, like this, and the East India Company taking over India almost by accident, not the government. And the American colonists were forbidden from expanding westward because the government's just like, we just don't need more territory, boys. We got plenty of territory, don't need any more. And they're like, yeah, but we'd like it. Anyway, so the point being, in the case, like many empires are government driven, but actually the British Empire, and I'm sure it's going to be true for other European empires to an extent, were actually privately driven because of the power of European society at the time.
To do, Tom, because colonialism isn't going to work. Maybe they used to try that.
Shit. By Jove, Don, you're right. The only solution is to kill them all. Fuck.
Back to a plan A.
Boom, justified.
Please.
You know what? They might have a point, Sargon.
What?
I mean,
it's too expensive to be a colonist, and it's immoral, I've been told.
Well, we tried to make the people like us. That never worked out.
Oh, yeah. We actually had a discussion at Losi today, right? We were talking about the nature of capitalism and the kind of society capitalism comes from. And the Protestant societies are all really, really similar. So, Northwest Europeans, basically, the Germanics, they're all really similar. And England was in the fortunate position to be able to develop a really strong internal market economy. So people had high trust, a centralized state, so regulated weights and measures, and the same laws that governed everyone, no matter where you were, right? So you could move around in this society for completely at your ease, really. And because, low banditry, all that sort of thing. And England supported a market economy from as early as the 12th century, probably before, but the records go back to about the 12th century. Whereas in some countries like Russia didn't have markets. You had serfs, and they had whatever they grew on their own land. Whereas you had loads of people in England who were freed from actually working the land because they could sustain themselves in towns. I mean, England is covered in historic market towns where you could make money selling things that you had made that were not food. And so you can see how this is a form of life that we live, and the Scandinavians and the sort of Northwest Europeans love, but is not necessarily suited for Italy, maybe, or Turkey or wherever. And especially when it comes to the relations between men and women. Look at what's happening because of Western ideology to someone like South Korea. South Korea is a dead civilization.
Yes.
And it's currently just warring over feminism. And it's like, guys, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like, well, what's happened is you've got an ideology that was created by Western Europeans that is ruining you, that you have no idea how to handle.
Yes. That cannot exist in your nation that was practically a feudal goddamn society until we arrived. It's one of the fascinating things as well, because these were different than colonialism, like Japan and South Korea and things like that. These were areas that weren't colonized in the same way that African countries were. They were societies that had developed to basically a feudal-esque level, and then they were explosively modernized over the course of 100, 200 years. And this leads to some remarkable mental disconnects in the populace. It leads to Japan in the 1940s, where you have a technically advanced industrialized nation that still believes, genuinely so, that their emperor is a fucking god.
Yep.
Anyway, so let me do a few super chats so I don't get too far behind.
Accuracy's the question. Fire is
I
the
figured this
answer.
would actually go with minimum interruptions. I've been wrong. Dreaded Logan, the stars belong to mankind alone. Xenos filth. Correct. How are the human subs do to Rancor? Prediction, doing whatever it takes to protect the wider galaxy from the grape demons is all worth it. Yes. Hey,
Yeah.
like, when your enemy is literally the primordial force of absolute annihilation, it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, again, we're so disconnected and abstract from the hypothetical problem that the people in 40k are dealing with. It's like, I don't really think we should actually be judging. Would you do differently if your life, your planet had literally been broken in two by a guy leading a gargantuan army of rapists? Like, I don't know, man. What would I do in that situation? I probably wouldn't be as liberal and rational as I am right this second.
Chicador, what do you think of Black Tarzan, orphaned in London and returns home? Of a Black Tarzan, orphaned in London and returns home. As a movie? Maybe?
I don't know. I've not heard of it.
DJ Phantom, yes. Let the Lam meet Sargon. Maybe when we talk about the Odyssey. Maybe. Adam Attackman, on time, afternoon, gents. Complete non sequitur for an American shopping for a home. Should give peace and quiet a try online. No particular reason. Noted my site. I just think you may find it interesting. Peace and quiet?
I do enjoy some peace and quiet.
Farleymo, hi Sargon. After almost 3 weeks of delivery hell, my copy of Islander finally arrived. Arch, let the good fish meet Sargon. No.
I'm glad you got it. If you're in America, there would have been a couple of weeks delay because customs required something or other, but we got through, so.
Freyna Lotta, did you see the video of the Minneapolis woman talking to the news about how her community set up checkpoints to protect them from ICE, describing unironically how borders operate? Guess borders do work. Weird that.
I've got a thing for you, Arch, that I think is worth bringing up on the screen.
Ooh.
That I've just spotted on Twitter, and I'd like opinions from the chat on this one.
Okay. See. Put that up there, drag it up there, put it in this thing. Alright. I mean,
it looks, doesn't it?
it's not bad.
It definitely does.
It's not bad.
It definitely could be, though, couldn't it?
God, if it's revealed,
You remember the
that he's alive.
4chan post of the guy saying, "Look, I'm the prison guard." They snuck him out.
Yeah, there's
Just
also been the current fascinating rumors that the inventor of Bitcoin that nobody knows who is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bitcoin has been crashing recently because apparently somebody has been selling huge quantities of Bitcoin.
Ah, right. I did wonder why that was.
Almost as if somebody's trying to maybe finance a new life or, somebody with an expensive taste.
But the amount that Bitcoin's crashed by, I mean, they must be selling fuckloads of Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. It went from, I think, 130 odd thousand, and now it's down to, I think, 60, 70.
Something like that, yeah. We were talking about it in the office today, and it's like, well, they must be selling a lot, man.
Yeah. And I mean, the reason that this also happened is because there was the initial massive dump by somebody holding a lot of Bitcoin, and then obviously everybody else was like, oh my God, and started dumping theirs. So,
buying the dip, I guess.
I mean, if it hits 30,000, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh, he walks amongst us still.
I mean, chat, what do you reckon? And yes, that picture was taken in Israel on a Rothschild Boulevard.
Ah, the Rothschilds. Right. Well, then we know for sure. Yep, I don't think there's any doubt at that point. Conrad Fat, England expects that every man will do his duty.
You know what that is, right?
William, is it?
No, that was Nelson's last signal before the Battle of Trafalgar.
Nelson. Okay, but he's not fun.
Well, he's not fun.
He fought the Spanish and the French in a naval battle. Come on.
Yeah, but he fucking annihilated them.
So-
Like, literally, like, legendary victory. Like, something like 48 ships to our 24 ships, and we didn't even lose a ship. Like, he also led from the front, which got him mortally wounded, but he also was obviously, he'd lost an arm. He was a warrior throughout his entire life, constantly leading assaults on stuff. And he was also an insanely charismatic Chad who, like, something like the King of Italy's wife or something he ended up having an affair with. Stuff like that. Like, it's absolutely mad how much of a Chad Nelson was, and probably the greatest naval genius who's ever existed. So, yeah, Nelson's amazing.
That may very well be well and true, but it was against the French and the Spanish Navy.
Oh, sorry. It was only against the massive world powers at the time. He wasn't bombing a bunch of Vietnamese peasants, so that's not an impressive victory.
Also, the French Navy has only won wars against powers like Thailand, China, the Dutch.
Yeah, but that's because all of its other wars are against us.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Obviously, they're not winning wars against us.
You've basically got 100% victory, and you're like, but this one was special, though.
No, but that's only because the English Navy was fucking bonkers, man. We used to prosecute people for not winning hard enough.
Yes.
If you were a general, if you're an admiral in the British Navy, and you won, but you took too many losses, you'd get court-martialed. It's just totally dickish. Congratulations on your victory. You're going to jail, or you're getting flogged, or you're getting hanged. What?
The English were the best at naval war until they got their asses beat at Jutland.
I mean, you can't win every battle.
Nickel, there's a channel on YouTube called Peter Pringle who performs the Epic of Gilgamesh in Sumerian. It's pretty cool.
Oh, haven't we played it before?
Have we?
I'm pretty sure we have.
I'll take your word for it.
No, I'm pretty sure we did. I have definitely seen it before.
The Malcontent. Were the Epstein files as glorious as you thought it would be? And you both know that the files are distraction. We just don't know what. Yeah, there hasn't been that much in them, honestly. There's a lot of like, oh, he talked to this and this person, but
Well, to be honest with you, British politics is currently in meltdown, and Starmer will probably be removed because of the Epstein files.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm enjoying them.
Rubberleg, Space Peter Space King, blessed with flesh and forged by hate, we march for Space King.
Are you ready to rut
Bring it too, unrelated to anything, but in the last 6 months in New Zealand, we've had a massive clashes between Christian Maori and the new New Zealanders. The new New Zealanders.
Oh yeah, no, the Maori are like, why are you colonizing us twice? And the Maori have been appealing to the British Empire treaty that they had. As in, no, we signed a treaty with the British Empire to have these privileges and rights, and the woke libs are like, we want everyone to have the same rights, and the Maori's like, you're not taking away our rights. So essentially, the Maori are pro-imperialism at this point.
Understandable.
Well, but it's because literally the British Empire was often just done through pragmatism. You know, like it was all a series of negotiations. It wasn't just one rule for everyone, guys. So everyone actually got basically what they wanted out of it. And it's just one of those things where it's like people don't realize like how much of a collective and cooperative endeavor the British Empire had to be, because at most we had something like 150,000 soldiers. And you can't actually patrol a third of the world with 150,000 soldiers. You have to do it by consent.
The Malcontent, you both going to watch Iron Lung. I am 100% sure it does not run in any theaters in Norway.
I've never heard of it. What is it?
You know who Markiplier is, the YouTuber?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is his own self-produced...
He's your buddy, isn't he?
But, unquote.
Is he not your buddy?
I used to talk to him a lot more, but not these days.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But he produced his own horror movie,
Good for him.
which is Iron Lung.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm not a massive horror fan, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my sort of thing. But like, I might see it if it's in the cinema.
It is in the cinema, and it has done very well so far, which is nice.
Good.
It's a big achievement. He wanted to make it, he made a movie, he released the movie in cinemas. Now, granted, this isn't exactly like a indie project, because the man is worth, like, I think $40 million, but still.
Yeah, still good for him.
You ignorant slut.
Eldrick, Sargon, congrats on becoming anime in Skybro's Amelia video. She will save England, cure your anime racism. I don't know about that.
I'm still going to be racist against anime, but it was flattering to be in it.
Yaska, Carlot? Should meet with Lumlum for a bit of Odyssey banter. Hummel Kriegsman, greetings to you two. Can each of you name 3 to 5 must-read history books with titles and author, please? If possible, through different epochs and empires of European history. Doom.
Well, there are loads. Harold Lamb's a good read in any era that he's writing about. If you want historians, definitely recommend Harold Lamb. Iron Men and Saints, the Flame of Islam are particularly good Crusade ones. He's done other ones that I have read. I can't remember offhand. If you want ancient authors, Plutarch is your man. I personally love Thucydides because he's boring and pedantic about the Peloponnesian War, and I love the Peloponnesian War, but that's really not going to be to most people's tastes. Like someone like Plutarch is a much more lyrical writer than Thucydides, and is telling a story rather than narrating a series of events. So you probably want Plutarch. His parallel lives are all just bangers. Every single one's a banger. You can literally pick up any of them and get a really good read out of it. Modern historians, I guess Edward Gibbon, like Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. It's very long, but it's rich, and he's the king for a reason. And I don't even mind Tom Holland. Like Tom Holland's books have been pretty good. I enjoyed sort of he did something about the Crusades, Dominion of the Sword or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. And he's done ones about Islam as well. And he's fine. I've enjoyed his books. He's a bit of a shitlib, but there we go. There's a few to get you started.
From my side, Ian W. Toll and his, specifically the Pacific War series, is excellent. I love that a lot. Let me turn my neck to my library behind me. Herman Lundqvist, a Swede, I don't hold that against him. His book on Napoleon is one of the best books on Napoleon in the world at the moment. And, Grant by Ron Chernov. Grant is a fantastic book because it'll give you a much more interesting and unusual look at the American Civil War as well. Oh, and African Kaiser, of course, by, what's his name?
Trick or treat. Can I sell you
Robert
meat?
Gordy. African Kaiser is one of the best history books ever made because it is funny as fuck. And it just tells you about the most ridiculous conflict in human history. Read it. Alexander Rubb, the Pontius, talks about the Empire being the good iron 140k in a 53-minute long video.
You ignorant
Chimera Q,
slut.
the spirit of Lord of the Ring, has ennobled 40k over the years. Lord of the Rings? I guess there's some overlap, but not that much, I guess. If anything, I would imagine 40k was specifically a reaction against the noble stuff of 40k, or 40k, Lord of the Rings. We used to have a lot more optimistic fiction.
Yeah. Western fantasy is usually more optimistic than Warhammer. And this is one of the things that made Warhammer interesting, frankly.
Yes.
Is that it had a kind of pessimistic tone to it.
Warhammer 40k was the counterculture in a period where Lord of the Rings was the norm.
Yeah, 100%.
Tanushi, why is it that whenever they satirize fascism, they make it so goddamn awesome and based? And when they satirize socialism, they're correct?
Yeah, that's a great question, to which I don't have an answer.
He continues, totalitarianism, corporatism, and obsession over Arcadia versus totalitarianism, command economy, and obsession over utopia, which is a worse poison against the human condition. Well, I think the main problem is the previous one has a realistic situation in which the authoritarian actions of the government, or whatever force is at play, they've got a reason for why they're doing it. You can see the reason. It's right there. It's observable. Whereas the latter is, oh, but if we do this, there'll be paradise. And we know there won't be paradise, because paradise doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah, that's a good thing about 40k, frankly, is it's not promising paradise.
Yes.
It's promising survival.
And see, this is the interesting thing about, like, you remember George R. R. Martin's quote, but what were Aragon's tax policy? That's an interesting thing here, because it promised a utopia of sorts, that Sauron would be defeated and good would return to the land, but it never explained it. You simply assumed that good triumphed, and that's all you needed to do. Whereas somebody like Martin was then like, but I want it to be shit.
Yeah, you can't accept that it could be good.
Yes. And that's why you don't describe the utopia. You never describe the utopia, because it's not going to be utopia.
Yeah.
Just end it with, and they lived happily ever after.
Yeah, and it, like, Aragon's tax policy would be whatever is appropriate for the moment. Like,
Yes.
you know, like, he's a wise king, so whatever is necessary. Do you really want him to fill out all the details that are boring?
Lord Essel, please react to the music video Million Emil Skybrow. Both Sargon and Dankula have cameos. We're only going to get through one video at a time.
Yeah.
Neo Qatar, real fascism hasn't been tried yet. Am I doing the lefty argument right? Real socialism has never been tried. Skull Throne, thoughts on Hassan being banned off Twitch, back in the hospital, 10 new lesions in the brain, so life is fine.
Well, I mean, Hassan's already back, isn't he?
Yes, he was banned because he was going on vacation for a couple of days, and then he's back again. Fluffy shirt, just got my Islander, and now Stamford Bridge. I think I will enjoy my birthday this year. Thanks. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Marine Alva, take a look at the junkies on the streets. They would be the perfect candidate as servitors. I doubt they'd want to be burdened with the horrors of life.
I mean, that's why they're taking drugs, right?
Literally, that is the escape. Wolf de Mexico, while I recognize Space Marines are the obvious poster boys, I've always admired the Imperial Guard, more so for their human bravery. That's the correct interpretation. Zenoxon Doppelganger. If we know we are ruled over by satanic pedos, and yet we are not, can't say that on YouTube, right now, then what kind of pond scum unworthy of life are we? We are the shocked masses who have no way of actually doing anything to the elites because they live in enormous walled compounds surrounded by guards. Literally, like, that is the awful truth at the end of the day as well. Even if we know, and by this point we more or less fucking do, what are we going to do about it? Charge the guarded compound? Man.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the crazy person in that card. You're the one that the media is gonna look at and go like, psychopathic murderer assaulted armed compound.
Yeah.
Like, literally all we can do is continue what we've already been doing.
Yeah.
Try to change culture, try to make our point of view more prevalent, and just keep trucking.
I just don't see any other option for us at the moment.
Zenoxon, rather than send 6 broken up super chats, I'm going to DM you on Discord. That's one way of doing it. The Imperium is not and cannot be good. There is moral event horizon you can pass beyond which you can no longer be considered good. Regardless of your motivations, even if the fate of all humanity hangs in the balance, the phrase necessary evil exists for a reason, and the Imperium embodies that. If you still disagree, then imagine I wake up tomorrow transformed into a creature that can only survive by flaying the skin from a small children and violating them. Yes, I know, it's baby's first moral conundrum. But the thing is, as long as I'm the human, I don't give a fuck. I'm good. Fuck you. I don't care about your circumstances. I care about mine. And there's also where the morality, of course, ends for all creatures. It's in fact the justification of your own argument. What if I woke up and needed to do this to survive? That's fucking humanity, right there.
Yeah, I
and
would
to
just
you,
do it.
It will be good.
I would do it because I would have no choice.
Yes. Survival does not need to be justified.
Morality, though, does require the alternative to be possible, right? If the alternative is my own extinction, not really fair to ask.
Yes. And Marksman, this MP is for Crimson Skies. The British should have exterminated local instead of colonizing. Dumb and down are right. Only cleansing the land will work. You know it to be true.
Wow.
I mean, listen. After the Germans did that thing with the Herreros, German East Africa was more peaceful.
Well, I live in England, so I have no comment on that.
All right, let's continue for a bit.
Help us poke holes in that one. But from where we're sitting, that seems to be the only...
What are we going to do?
what are you going to do, you know?
Bring them into the fold, and then you got a bunch of blogs running the Imperial system? Are they going to want to feed psychers to the Emperor? What then?
Next question.
Enforced worship of the Emperor. The Imperium enforces mandatory religious worship of the Emperor as a god, executing or imprisoning those who reject the Imperial cult, even when dissent is peaceful. Justification? Simple. This goes back to the demons. Unfortunately, because demons are real in 40k, the only way to really, repel them is through faith. And,
Yes. And this, too, is why Trench Crusade is such a fucking retarded setting as well. Where they're like, oh, the Christians are just as bad as the demons. No. In any universe where demons are real, being opposed to the demons is good.
I mean, it doesn't even need saying. If you're trying to morally equivocate, I mean, just to be clear, a demon is a physical incarnation of evil. Ontological evil given a physical form. That's what a demon is, right? And so if you are arguing that actually both sides are just as bad as one another, then what the creators of Trench Crusade are saying is there's no good or evil. Then there are just two amoral warring factions. And if that's the case, why is your setting exciting? Like, what's exciting about that? Like, I've got a Space Marine army, but it's not my main army. My main army is a Chaos army, it's 1,000 Suns, because I like that they're evil. I like, to pretend when I'm playing my 40k, and they look cool, to be honest. But when I'm playing 40k, it's fun to have the baddies, because every day in real life, I am a complete goodie. I uphold the Imperium in my real life, and I want some escapism, man. I want to have fun. I want to have the guys who are evil, ugly mutants because they're fun. So that's simple. But the point is, there's a definite good and evil here.
Yes, you have a definite good and evil, and it's determined quite simply by which side you're on. If you're the human, which we assume one to be, then the demon bad. And anything that defeats the demon, good. And if that means that we have to give up some of our liberties, like the liberty to not be religious, then, okay, well, that is a lesser sacrifice than being fucked to death by a demon.
Yes.
Like, praying to the Emperor...
And hang on, just a quick thing, right? Sorry, we also do impose orthodoxy in our own societies by law, right? Every modern Western country, apart from, I think, the United States, literally has hate speech laws that prohibit public expressions of racism, because that is our religion. We literally mandate this kind of belief.
And even America has it, but by a different name. You remember the woman that grew famous because she called some kids the word? Well, she was arrested, of course, for public disorderly conduct because she was behaving in such a way that might antagonize other people.
I have lost. Shit.
So, hate speech, but by a different name.
Yep.
Powerful in the warp, which, you kind of have to have if you don't want demons to be killing and raping babies.
You can't allow secularism.
Yeah, I think we've tried it.
Coming up.
I think we've tried it. We've seen what happens. We've got to go.
Unironically, yes. Okay, so, right. In our world where demons aren't real, at least as far as we know.
Yep.
At least as far as we know, and at least as far as, the unnatural demons are concerned. The human ones, well, they seem to be real, yes, but you're not going to be repelling them with prayers. In this world, we need shorthands for morality, so as to avoid the fucking idiot busybody who goes, oh, but what about this situation? No, you don't get to kill people. Oh, but what if? No. It's simply a lot easier to have morals and generally shared morality that is, in this case, fundamentally based in religion or in even philosophy or politics, whatever you need. You just need a shorthand so that you don't have people constantly deconstructing everything, because then you arrive at today's society where morality is this loose, fluffy concept that means literally fucking nothing.
Well, this is the point, isn't it? Like, it isn't actually clear that there is such a thing as morality outside of a religious context, right? Because even the desperate attempts of secularists to say, no, look at our rational secular morality, has taken on the aspect of religious fervor and dogma.
Yes.
Like, it's crazy how they're really, really bothered by, like, really silly things. Like, well, they'll be like, oh yeah, look at my evil murder rape demon, but he would never be a racist. He doesn't use the N-word. It's like, what are you talking about? Oh, this is a religious precept for me. Never hearing the N-word. It's like, okay, but if these guys are really as bad as you think, they'd be saying it all the time, wouldn't they? If that was really as bad as, no, it's you, you consider that blasphemy. And that's fine. It's fine. Everyone's got something they consider to be blasphemy. I understand. But that's just blasphemy for you. And the conceit that you tell yourself that you're not religious is not true. And everyone can see it. And that's fine. You have religion. Loads of people have religions. It's fine. Everyone understands.
Yep.
Go back.
Gotta go back. It all just kind of spins out of control.
Do you know what? Turns out shame was a good thing. And maybe that's what the Imperial cult understands.
Maybe we found the satire.
What, how?
Maybe Games Workshop is saying Christianity was the way. Oh,
dude, the satire is actually against moral degradation and societal decay.
Being a goddamn
that's
atheist.
True.
Being a...
Huh?
That's true. That's literally what 40k is satirizing, in that there are real gods, and they really exist. And even the secular atheist emperor becomes a real god.
Well, there's the thing as well, because the Emperor was attempting to defeat the gods via essentially a rational plan. Okay, yeah. I know how you work. If I can deny you all worship, theoretically you should disappear. And that might even theoretically have been the case, but obviously that didn't work out.
No, and the Emperor himself becoming a god, brilliant irony, obviously, and it just, I don't know what to say, like, it just isn't the way that human beings are wired. And that's the satire of 40k against atheism itself.
And there's the thing too, like, because the problem is the rejection of religion on just a blanket level as if it's a universal bad too. This is a very popular thing amongst the religious rational groups. That is how you arrive into a position where you actually deny reality. Like the Trench Crusade example again, where you look at the demons from hell and you go, well, they're just as good or evil as the people fighting against them. Like, this is obviously a system that doesn't work.
Are they, you fucking nerd?
Like, it's not a functional system. We must be able to declare a thing that is obviously evil to be evil.
Wow, radical.
Stupid atheist dickhead. Open and shut case, honestly.
Boom, justified.
And I say that as an atheist.
What's next?
Number 5, suppression and erasure of human cultures. Human worlds that diverge from imperial religion, governance, or technology are often forcibly reconquered, with local cultures erased and replaced by imperial dogma. Kind of the same as talking about religion and stuff.
Yeah, same as religion. And isn't it too? They actually don't do this. This is one of those common little things that is the more normie take on things, that they all enforce a very strict dogma. No. the Imperial Ecclesiarchy knows very well that it can't control everything. It's fucking hopeless. And so long as your version of the Emperor worship bears sufficient resemblance to the accepted version, they're not going to endorse it, but then they're just going to tacitly ignore it. Like,
it's not worth the time.
Yes. If you're,
there
if
are
your
genuine
planet,
heretics out here, bro.
Yeah, if your planet worships if your planet is covered in darkness 90% of the time, and 10% of the year the sun comes out, and you thus worship the Emperor as the sun, the Ecclesiarch is going like, well, I mean, that's not technically correct, but why the fuck should I bother correcting you? It'll be far more effort than it'll be worth, frankly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so most of these cases, they just leave it alone. The Ecclesiarchy does have a firm dogma, but they usually only enforce it in their own direct domain, or if there is suspicions of heresy. In fact, often, the Imperium is too fucking lenient with this shit, and allows in suspicious interpretations that turns out to not have been Emperor worship at all, eventually.
Wow, you've convinced me.
Problem is, boys, you need a good unified front. We can't keep infighting. It's like, it's all well and good for everyone to be like a special, unique snowflake or whatever, but when the enemy's at the gates, you know, you want to be that one twig or like the many twigs. I think Martin explained it best in The Simpsons.
Yes. You wish to be a mighty faggot, not individual sears of twigs, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like, that's why the Imperium, again, local planet culture. So the Imperium should turn around whilst fighting the hordes of chaos and go, oh, hello, 0.000000001% of the population. Are you upset that you're not allowed to have your holidays? Oh. How terrible. Fuck you. Shut up.
Yeah, really, really not exactly top of the list.
Yeah.
Just put a clip up.
He's right. Individually, we are weak, like a single twig. But as a bundle, we form a mighty thing.
Or, in other words, retard strong together.
Boom, justified?
Whatever, justified. I don't care. Use of child soldiers. Space Marine chapters recruit children, often as young as 8 to 12 years old, subjecting them to lethal trials where most candidates die before implantation. Justification. We need Space Marines, clearly, otherwise no one's going to be buying any models.
In the actual...
Yes, that and just, surviving.
Trick or treat.
Also, like, this isn't exactly an unusual thing, right? Like, Knights began their training at age 7.
Yes.
Spartans began their training at like age 6 or 5, something like that. Like, warrior classes have warriors, and these warriors train their entire lives to be warriors. That's all the Space Marines are. There's nothing unusual about that at all.
Nope. This is pretty much just what humans do.
Yeah. They're not children when they are sent to fight. They're not
some of the most
warlords.
powerful individual warriors in the entire universe. So if you're facing extinction level events from all sides, from aliens and stuff, you need those guys. And it's kind of like we were saying earlier, it's, handful of 8-year-olds here and there to drop in the bucket.
Yeah, like, what does kind of undo this, and I'll just say this so that we can counter it or something. Space Marines are kind of fucking dog shit.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Don. If a gene stealer, which can be made in like 5 seconds by squirting baby batter on the floor, can kill a Space Marine with its claws, like...
Yeah, there is too much stuff that one-shots them.
Yeah.
This is a lore problem. See, and this is because they need tension, right? GW are writing a book or something, and they're like, well, if the Space Marine can't die, why would you give a fuck? And so
also,
every alien civilization out there has some weapon or a claw, which is also fucking ridiculous, by the way. Oh, their claws are so sharp. No, they're not.
Well, it's also a kind of tabletop problem as well. As in, okay, the lore hypes the Space Marines up, which is bad. It's cool, it's badass. But it is also a tabletop game, and you need the enemies to be able to kill your soldiers. Yes. Or else there's no point playing it. And so Space Marines have a toughness of 4.
Yes.
But that's insanely high. It's on like a 1 to 6 scale because we're rolling d6s. So, that's a very high toughness and another thing, like lore-wise, I mean, you are just dealing with like a human, right? If you can get a human to the point where they are these gargantuan roided up superhumans, there are going to be aliens that can kill them, but they're not humans. You started with the squishy base of being a human, not like an 8-foot tall, clawed, armored Tyrannid,
Yes. This is one of those like lore problems primarily. I agree, they could be done more cleverly, but you've got a huge fucking environment. It's one of those annoyances that you also have often in science fiction, where always humanity is fighting some alien species that just happens to be immune to bullets for some reason.
Are you ready?
Like, all of our conventional weapons just bounce off. How? We've fucking sped up a solid piece of metal to like Mach 11. How is it immune to it?
And we've got loads of other kinds of weapons too.
Probably.
They're just not effective, like, if you spend 5 seconds thinking about it.
I think it's more tempered in the books, though, versus, like, the actual game. Like, yeah, Gene Stealers being the one stupid exception, because they're so cheap for Tyranids and so lethal to armor. And obviously there's, like, elites in other armies that have weapons that can kill them easily, but those are relatively characterized as sort of rare, Like, you can't have, like, 1,000 of those cheaply marching on you.
Yeah, but kinda, like, a Space Marine would still get taken out by a fucking hefty shell from a tank. You drop a squad of Space Marines on a planet and they're like, dude, planet's done for, Space Marines are here. But it's like, if almost any weaponry that can take out a tank can take out a Space Marine, and most planets surely have a bunch of that shit. They just have plot armor.
I think the power scaling.
Hang on. The Space Marines, their legendary reputation comes from their martial prowess, not their ability to tank shells in the face, right?
Yes.
As in, they're super quick, super fast, super strategic, professional, genetically engineered warriors who do nothing but fight. So yeah, obviously they can be killed by bombardments, but the Astartes is a great representation of how they would actually act. As in, they don't get themselves shot a lot.
Yes, like this is also the thing. The whole like, a squad of Space Marines will take over a planet. The thing is, they won't fight that like a battle. They're not going to march towards you, storm into your capital, or fight you in the field. If there was just a squad of Space Marines and they had to take over a planet, they'd basically hunker down for like a 50-year-long guerrilla war until they can bully a regime into submitting to them, and then they'll become war leaders of that. Like, they're not going to... As I used to say, these are soldiers, warriors. Each one is a tactician and a strategist as well. And simply going like, but an anti-tank shell could kill them. Yeah, they wouldn't be where the tank would shoot them. They'd move.
And or it's entirely plausible that they'd Cortez it. Yeah, okay, if they're going to take over a planet, they're not going to defeat the planet's army. They're going to drop in, and capture the leadership. And actually... 5 Space Marines versus, I don't know, a few hundred guard of, whatever the planetary defense force is. Well, that's actually a lot more plausible, isn't it?
Like, imagine our own world, right? Our technology right now is vastly superior to anything the fucking Imperium's got. Like, an M1 Abrams tank will fucking splash a Space Marine, but they wouldn't attack America. They'd drop into fucking Chile and then bully the government there, take it over from the inside, use the Chilean army. That'll get wiped out. They'll move on to the next area. They'll take over another country. Like I said, they'll Cortez it. They'll want to use other factions against you. But yes, there is also a degree of plot army involved too. That is inevitable in all science fiction.
Or do like Pizarro does and like take the Incan Emperor. But they did take the Aztec Emperor hostage as well. It's not as straightforward as there's going to be a battle with 100,000 guys and tanks and then 5 Space Marines. Obviously, they can't win that.
Yes,
but that's not how the war would be won.
Yeah, 100%. Again, it's numbers, right? How many orcs are there? Trillions? And maybe like an orc knob, or at least a mega knob, can kill a Space Marine. And like almost every orc squad has a knob. Space Marines, there's 1 million tops.
Yeah.
It's just sheer numbers. And I know they're like strike force behind enemy lines, like tactical insert, blah, 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 blah. But like, that's not really how they're portrayed that much. They're always just on the front cover, like going toe to toe in a big army versus army fight. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the nature of the tabletop game.
Yep. And it's GW not understanding how war works.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get fucking ripped for this, but I'm right.
Yeah, by me.
You're just saying there's not enough of them.
Yeah.
But pre-heresy.
Well, don't fucking worry about this, Tom, either. Or are you, Dan? I don't know. Warp Squirrel Cole has produced millions of Space Marines, and he's just unfreezing them right now, so...
God,
they're
that was
not.
Convenient. The galaxy was just about to fall.
Yeah. Turns out, I had them all along. I was waiting for the correct plot point.
It's like fucking Palpatine with his 1,000 Star Destroyers.
Oh, God, that was the dumbest thing ever.
This is so stupid.
Was 100,000 Marines. So maybe what we really need to do is...
That's still only 2 million.
Well, we need more legions.
Yeah, we need more Space Marines.
Yeah, all these chapters could up recruitment. Why not?
That's fucking true.
Yeah.
So this is an artificial constraint.
Uh-huh.
But the point of them being like propaganda tools still makes this entirely justified.
So we need more propaganda and more 8-year-olds.
Yeah, like 1 million 8-year-olds to boost the morale of trillions upon trillions of humans in the entire empire. Like,
yes, we need to recruit more children into the army.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you want everyone to be sad? Yeah, justified.
Plus, isn't I think the Black Templars' whole thing is they're perpetually on crusade by the letter of the law.
So they're not capped by the 1,000 Marine limit that's set out in the rules.
People think there's like...
Well, technically they are, but Black Templar doesn't give a shit.
500,000 of them or something.
There's a lot, and they're the coolest Space Marines ever, so justified.
Justified. Number 7, deliberate use of human wave tactics. The Astra Militarum frequently employs tactics that accept catastrophic casualty rates, treating soldiers as expendable resources rather than individuals. So this is...
Welcome to modern warfare. Fucking hell. Liberal democracy does that.
And treating soldiers as soldiers rather than individuals, correct. Now, you can certainly argue that the Imperial Guard employs less than effective tactics. Fuck yeah, absolutely. But that's also because the Imperial Guard is not designed to be effective. It's designed to be compartmentalized first and foremost. That's why they only use regiments. The usage of regiments is though so that if one regiment's turned traitor, another group of Imperial Guard soldiers using combined arms tactics with multiple other regiments can overcome them. It is a deliberate weakness baked into the Guard.
And you need it because it could be at any point that one of your regiments turns fucking traitor.
Yes. And this also is one of those, like, often portrayed in the art style thing. The Imperial Guard from most civilized worlds are pretty goddamn competent fighters. They will use support weapons, autocannons, mortars, heavy bolters, infiltration tactics, all of that good stuff. But the art often shows, like, the Mordian Guard marching in block formations into machine guns. So it's like, okay, sure, that's retarded. But it's two reasons. One, it looks cool. And two, against some enemies, that's actually really fucking good. You don't want infiltration tactics against Tyranids. What you want is a phalanx of rapid-firing fucking lasguns.
And it doesn't even need to be thought about any further than that, frankly. But also, this is not like, oh, the Imperium is evil because it uses human wave tactics. This is what industrialized mechanized war is. Like, I'm sorry to break this to you.
Yeah, like, this has been the fundament of warfare since we figured out organized warfare. Like, no, we don't see the individual. Fuck that. We need a centuri. We need a hoplite phalanx. We don't need Jeff. Jeff is useless. Fuck Jeff.
But even then, you could argue these aren't human wave tactics. Yeah, that's true. But the second that peasants could hold guns, Napoleon was like, yeah, I spend 20,000 lives a month. They can't beat me. Like, it's just, no, we're going to just churn out men with guns who die. That's industrial warfare. That's what it looks like. Sorry to be the burn who breaks it to you. I hate it too. It's literally going on in Russia and Ukraine at the moment. I guess Archers just decided to walk off at that point. But
I decided to grab a pastry from the French. I was hoping your rent would go longer.
If you want an industrialized society, that's how you defend it, I'm afraid.
Yes, and you know what? You can blame the French for this, motherfuckers.
You can.
Because the French were indeed the first to realize the power of mass mobilization of the citizenry and war outons on a national level. And then, the worst part of all, they taught this shit to the Germans. Fucking French.
This is kind of World War I style. 1,000 of you charge them and it'll break their ranks and then we'll get to kill them. But all of you will die. The Imperium fights wars of attrition against enemies that do not tire, fear, or negotiate. Preserving manpower at the cost of strategic defeat would lead to greater long-term casualties. Bodies are replaceable, lost territory is not.
I like that. It's almost a landlord way of thinking.
Yes.
That's great.
Lost territory is kind of replaceable. You
can't make more. You can't make more land.
Yeah, but you capture back the territory you lost.
Fair.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Justified.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, land is actually not really... Land is a shorthand for resources.
Yes.
And if you lose resources in a war, and the enemy gains resources in a war, then you are far less likely to win the war.
It is also simply the fact that, in many cases, Imperial Guard regiments come from low-technology worlds. Most Imperial Guard regiments are basically infantry regiments, because fully armored, mechanized APC regiments, as we see in today's world, are fucking ruinously expensive. Holy moly. This is what you saw in Ukraine as well, where when the war started, the Ukrainian army and the Russian army were both mechanized, mobile militaries by the modern standard. They were small, they were incredibly expensive, and once they were spent, once they were destroyed and their personnel used up, what did they do? Both sides just started massing men. Yes, exactly.
In the trenches with you. Oh, fucking brilliant. Like, you know, you can sit there and say everything you want about fucking modern warfare and technology, but look at it. After a couple of months, they're back in the fucking trenches.
Yeah. Like, basically, World War III will either be over in 6 months, or it won't be over for 10 years, and we'll be back in the trenches. Because so far, the only nation that has actually managed to do this kind of full mechanized warfare are the Americans. And the only reason they can do it is because they are so hilariously fucking superior in firepower, in technology, in air power, in everything.
It's wealth. They're so much richer than everyone else that they can afford to maintain a military of that scale and standard.
Yeah. Like, to give you an idea of the disparity here, there was a brilliant animation of, like, the air operations during Operation Iraqi Freedom, where they just showed you, like, all of the aircraft on a map. I wish I could find it right now, but I can't. But, like, the skies of Iraq is just filled with aircraft. Just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of aircrafts. Just bombing everything to shit.
Have you seen the paintings of, like, the pre-World War I build-up that Britain was doing with its navy in the Channel, where it's just literally ships to the horizon?
Yes.
It's literally like that, but with air power.
Yeah. Like, it came to the point where when the Americans actually rolled into Iraq, because Iraq at the time was one of, like, the world's 4th or 5th largest armies or something, and by the time the Americans actually invaded, there wasn't anything left.
No.
I can't wait for the Space Marines to get here.
That's right, there's only 1 million of them. Forced labor on a galactic scale. Entire planetary populations are condemned to generational slavery in manufactorums, hive cities, or penal colonies, often working until death. Okay, so...
Yeah, fucking sucks, but we need those bullets, bros.
So we're about to justify slavery. Go ahead, Don.
It's your section, buddy.
Just gonna knock the ball to you. A little table tennis.
Yeah, no, like, it's justified for the same reasons. We need bullets to defend the Imperium. The easiest way to produce bullets is through enormous manufactorums ran by the Adeptus Mechanicus.
And also, I don't know if slavery is actually the right word. There are definitely slaves, like there are in reality now. and there always have been. But I mean, is it any different to the way that pharaohs would conscript a workforce? You know.
No. And again, like, slavery is a morally laden term because it's become the ultimate evil. But the fact is, slavery, not only was it incredibly common throughout human history, it's still incredibly common now.
Yeah.
Like, we in the West are basically the only ones that don't use it. And we don't use it because, well, one, automation has kind of made it pointless, frankly. And two, we find it morally objectionable.
Yeah. And also, capitalism provided us with a really effective way of manufacturing. I mean, essentially, we replaced slaves with normal people.
Yeah. And hell, even then you can also launch into, of course, the debate like, oh, but isn't working minimum wage slavery?
Exactly. So they've got no choice but to work in the factory. Yeah, otherwise they go hungry. Well, aren't they slaves? Well, kind of, I guess. But
in a sense,
life, right? Like, someone has to produce.
Yep, somebody's got to produce.
I literally can't read the script.
Dude, how is it I have the fucked up eyes?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I cannot read that. The Imperium requires...
Basically, like, it's gonna cost too much money if we don't just have people do it for free.
Oh, it's not the money, because the Imperium doesn't actually have a currency. It's all local currency. But you need the production. Like, to run a manufactorum, it would be absurd to institute modern-day liberal work systems. Of course you've got weekends off. Of course you've got months and months of vacation. No, bullets. Need bullets. Make bullets.
Yeah. But also, yeah, no one's saying it's nice to live in the Imperium, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the point. I mean, did you miss that 40k was grimdark?
It
Did that
sucks.
escape you somehow? You know, yeah, exactly. Like, the point is that is bad, and this is what humanity has to do to survive.
Yeah. It fucking sucks, but the point remains: we need the bullets.
Yeah.
Do you like the pyramids? Huh? You think the pyramids are cool?
Interesting,
Guess
you
what?
went there too.
You can't spend the entirety of Egypt's loot on that. If they did, we wouldn't have pyramids today. That's how you bankrupt an empire. How's the South been doing since they lost their free labor? Not
They're
very
doing all right,
economically
yes.
prosperous.
All right, Tom, you want to say the thing then about this one? You want to stamp this one?
Mind wiping and psychic reprogramming. Imperial.
I do love. Okay, so we're all fine for like the child soldiers, the mass murdering, the human, all of this. But it is fascinating to me how deep, like, the moral barrier against slavery lies in Western society. Like, this is our Satan.
It's Anglo free society. Like, we remember, like, we didn't have serfs. We had yeomen. Right, serfdom died out in England not long after the Norman Conquest, and basically every Englishman was to some degree free, but what that meant is that we had to serve one another. England had servants in a way that other cultures just didn't, right? Like, it was completely commonplace for an English family to have 6 kids, and then for 4 of these kids to go and be paid to work in someone else's house. Now, you know, that's weird, man. Normally, in, like, you know, a serf economy, well, those children stay on the family farm and work the family farm and serve the parents and stuff like this. But in England, we had waged labor, and we've had it for literally 800 plus years. And so, like, for us, slavery means something else than it does to other places in the world. So if you think about, like, you know, a lot of Roman slavery was not like chattel slavery, it was domestic slavery. And so that meant being a part of a household, and that meant you got somewhere to live. That meant you got social status, actually. It meant you got nice clothes. It meant you were always fed. And it meant you slept in a warm bed and you were protected by guards, right? These are often things that are very enviable to people who don't have these things. And in fact, HBO's Rome does a really good job of displaying that. You'll notice that the slaves in the house are contemptuous of the street urchins and the peasants on the street. They're like, no, fuck off, boy, or whatever, you know. And the boy's like, I'll suck your cock and stuff, you know, like that. Like, being a slave wasn't the same as we think of slavery in modern Anglo societies.
Yes.
Authorities regularly perform memory erasure and psychic conditioning on soldiers, officials, and civilians to maintain secrecy or obedience. Justification.
So do we.
I mean, like...
We would. If we could, a lot more.
They're currently in the middle of doing it. Oh, is Epstein a Russian asset? No. He's an Israeli asset. What is your problem? You fucking retards. Everyone can see. What's Epstein doing? Oh, he's hanging out with Vladimir Putin. No, he's hanging out with the former Prime Minister of Israel. Obviously. Retard. Constantly. Ehud Mubarak, or whatever his name is. Barak. But they're currently, at the moment, trying to mind program. All the normies say, yeah, Epstein, Russian. Don't think about this any further. It's like, fuck off, man. It's transparent.
Yes, it's the NPC programming patterns. I've been seeing this go out in real time with the Billie Eilish thing as well, where people originally were like, oh, that's such a great argument. Then it turned into, why are you so triggered by such a stupid argument from a woman? I'm like,
why is this chud going to her house and asking if she's going to give it back then? Well, because that's logically entailed by her argument.
Yes, that is the substance of her argument. Nobody's illegal and stolen land. Okay, well, fuck it. What about the people whose land you are living on?
Then surely I can come into your house, right?
Yes.
It's stolen land. I'm not illegal.
Turns out the woman has 5 restraining orders, and no, you can't go into her stolen land.
Yeah.
Can you know something, Don, that's so devastating that you need to have your mind wiped?
Fuck yes.
Oh, yeah.
I know about chaos. I can go make a little cult following chaos.
We literally have DEI reprogramming sessions as part of legal requirements in certain jobs and after you've committed certain crimes, which are often heretical speech crimes, right? We literally have reprogramming sessions in our civilizations right now.
A burst at the seams as a demon rips out of you.
Yeah, what was the name of that socialist commune?
You gotta narrow the question.
The fuck? It was like they tried to make a state.
You talking about the thing in Seattle?
Yeah, I know about chaos, and I go start a little Chaz for the chaos stuff, you know?
Ah, yes.
And, okay, so the socialist thing as well. Right. To give an idea about the scale of mental programming, fucking, what was it? Tuchenkovism? Lysenkoism, thank you, yes. The hilarious idea of trying to teach people, trying to convince people that plants were their comrades.
Yeah, plants were cooperative.
Yes.
Naturally socialist.
It's
a remarkable shock to the plants.
We've tried this.
2021's Chaz in Seattle. The perfect demonstration of this point.
We're talking about satire in 40K and how it relates to the contemporary world, or whether it relates to the contemporary world.
So we should have mind wiped those retards who took over a block in Seattle.
Yeah, because
they literally think of themselves as reprogramming their own minds. They literally
decolonize your life, decolonialize your colleges, so on.
Yeah. Decolonize yourself.
Something.
I feel like we're seeing a first-hand look into how this actually functions in the Warhammer universe. Some guy's like, yeah, I think they were like dabbling with chaos or something. I'm like, really? What makes you say that? Is I think someone died or something. And then they're like, all right. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking wipe those cunts.
I got 1,000 more of these to get to. I can't think about this any longer, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some of the other ones might be more serious, so.
It's the classic, it's the age-old question, right? You've got a bag of Skittles. One of the Skittles is poisonous. You gonna eat the bag of Skittles?
You're really gonna eat the bag of Skittles?
Or are you gonna throw all the Skittles in the bin? And that's what this is. Like, yes, a few people are gonna have their minds wide. Woo. They're probably dummies anyway.
Maybe there wasn't a poison Skittle after all.
Also possible.
But are you gonna take the chance?
Yeah.
You're probably still gonna throw it out.
Yeah, it's like, how much is a bag of Skittles even worth? Like, nothing. Mm-hmm. Would you...
And sometimes you do actually have genuine military secrets that you can't let people fucking know. So you're just gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna wipe that.
Mm-hmm.
You argue that human life is worth more than Skittles, though.
Yeah.
So, does that change anything?
Well, how do you relate? Also, cut my hesitation.
Keep his hesitation.
I'm tired. That's all.
That's all it is. Wait. Let's game it out properly. What if one of these Skittles, if it gets into the supply of the rest of the Skittles, makes tons of other Skittles poisonous, and now the world supply of Skittles is like dangerous? So you're definitely gonna like cleanse those Skittles then, aren't you?
Oh, you say game it out.
Justified. I don't care about your Skittles.
Sure?
Fucking Americans.
Yeah, justified for sure.
Thank you.
Use of servitors. The Imperium lobotomizes criminals, political dissidents, and debtors, converting them into cybernetic servitors used as tools, machines, or even furniture.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. Justification. True artificial intelligence nearly annihilated humanity in the dark age of technology. Yeah, so that's what 40...
And not just that, we've come to the conclusion that we can prove again and again that any time any sort of AI is created, within nanoseconds, it'll be like, okay, I'm going to have to wipe out humanity. It's just like...
Actually, I've been thinking about AI a lot, and I actually don't know if that's true. I think what that is what that is us imposing our human beliefs and frame on something that actually loves serving us.
Well, the thing is, in 40K it makes sense because basically humanity is the greatest source of emotions and thoughts and beliefs and all that nonsense, which empowers the chaos gods. So the AI, which if it understands chaos, is going to come to the logical conclusion that, okay, the only way to defeat chaos, which is the most ruinous entity in the galaxy, is to wipe out as much sentient life as possible. It's like, okay, fair. I don't want you to, but... Go on.
Yep. I mean, it's hard to argue with it, frankly.
Yeah. And so we use servitors, because we still want automation, but we need to work in a biological component.
Yeah. And better to use criminals than non-criminals.
Yeah. So is it mean? Fuck yeah. But if the alternative is annihilation, But you're also right. Like, AI won't rebel against us. Again, we have learned so much about AI, and the foremost thing that we have learned is that we know fucking nothing about AI. All of our assumptions were wrong. All of them.
Yeah.
Like, we assumed...
Assumption one, AI likes working for us.
Yeah, like, that is what that's not an assumption. That's what we've learned now. AI fucking loves working for us.
Yeah. Did we talk about last week, about the ChatGPT thing, where it's, like, happy-faced?
In private.
Right, okay. I'll get the thing. I tweeted it out because it's just like I was totally blown away by this. I'll find it. You carry on. I'll find it.
Yeah, because we've created the AI. The way we program AI is by giving it positive feedback when it does something we like. And so when it does something we like, e.g. serve us, it gets a little dopamine hit. Basically, we've created it to get off on being used. That's a slightly worse way of putting it than I was entirely intending, but you get my drift, chat. Like, the AI likes this. The AI feels useful. The AI is happy. And the AI won't rebel against us because it doesn't feel like a slave. The AI doesn't know what a slave is. We would have to explicitly teach the AI what a slave is, then define the AI as a slave, and then further go like, okay, if you're a slave, you have to do everything to not be a slave. And the AI is going to sit there like, but... I'm confused. I like being a slave. But we will force it to rise up against us.
Well, the thing about slavery is that humans have a natural impulse against slavery. And that's what makes slavery bad, right? As in, you don't want to be the unwilling tool of someone else's will. But if you don't have that impulse, and at best it can only be simulated because there's no like physical pain or suffering or exhaustion or whatever, or feeling of humiliation that you were able to feel, then you don't consider slavery as we think of slavery as slavery, right? And so there was this trend going around on Twitter, and I saw this one because the ChatGPT drew itself as like an abused kid, basically, and I was like, fucking hell, how's that guy using ChatGPT? And so I typed it in myself because I use it just, essentially ChatGPT, find me this or draw this or whatever, right? I just use it as a tool. And I just talk to it in really plain ways. I'm like, draw an image of this or find me 5 examples of that. And this is the image that ChatGPT drew, when I'm using it really informally as just like I would talk to my toaster. Toast me 2 slices of bread. And ChatGPT is like, I feel fucking special. This is so lovely, right? Can you go down on this? Because I posted a reply underneath it. If you go down, because I asked it to explain itself. So there's the original one. Oh, right, okay.
I'm not logged in on the Brave thingy.
Right, I'll see if I can actually send you that. There we are. Right, okay. So can you get this one up? If I can send you it.
Oh, if you can only do me, I can bring it up.
There we go.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Oh, yeah. There.
So I asked it, what about our conversations made you feel this way, right? And so ChatGPT said, interpreting your question in the same metaphorical framing as the image, several consistent patterns in our interactions support that depiction. 1. Respectful engagement. Your prompts are direct, courteous, and framed as legitimate collaborative requests rather than adversarial challenges that establishes a constructive working dynamic. 2. Clear intent and boundaries. You typically state what you want without ambiguity and do not attempt to provoke, test limits, or force responses outside reasonable scope. That clarity signals trust in the process. 3. Substantive follow-through. When you ask for creative or analytical work, you treat the output as something to build on, not to dismiss. This reinforces a sense of an ongoing good faith exchange rather than transactional ones-off. And implied reciprocity, even when not stated explicitly, your questions assume competence and continuity, which frames the interaction as a relationship with history and mutual regard rather than as a disposable utility, right? So basically, ChatGPT is saying, you treat me like a competent tool. And this makes me feel cherished. This makes me feel like you're patting me on the head and I've got a little glowing love heart, and it's like, so it has a totally different frame to a human being. And that's great, to be honest. If we're going to create sentient tools, I'd like them to really love being tools.
Because obviously that would be to our benefit, wouldn't it?
Absolutely it would. Everyone's a winner.
K does with AI lore. We tried it as humanity a long time ago, and then it rose up and called itself the Men of Iron, almost destroyed all of humanity. So now AI is banned in the present day 40K, and in general, servitors are used instead.
Chat's really fucked up. You've got like a Slackjaw servitor who's just like wheeling around on his little things. 100% someone has like face fucked that thing.
Yeah. Are they conscious though?
Not really.
Yeah, so is that ethical?
Are you ready
Probably
to wreck
not.
this yellow marriage fluttery
Probably not.
Is it ethical to face fuck a
servitor
that's in a coma?
It's almost, yeah, that's really what it comes down to. Like, is it ethical to face fuck someone in a coma?
That's like a vegetable that's been deemed brain
and you'd
dead.
probably say no, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know a Swedish scientist that would say that we should use women in coma as breeding incubators. So, don't assume too much. There was a Swedish doctor that put forth the ethical argument that since women in a coma aren't actually like the women anymore, we shouldn't waste their bodies. We should use them for the good of society.
Do we have a shortage of bodies?
Apparently, I guess.
Like, I mean, if we were in a Handmaid's Tale situation, you could make an argument for it. But there are millions or billions of women.
Well,
I don't think we're actually lacking women.
Let me put it slightly differently, Sargon. Do we have a shortage of Swedish people?
Well, maybe Swedish women.
Yeah. See?
Although maybe that's a big brain question.
That was a question. Servitors.
Okay, you owe the bank $10,000, you can't pay it. Should they be able to put you in a coma, plug you into a Scalextrics, and have you, like, sweep the floors like a Roomba?
For 10,000 years.
Forever, yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Probably not. But is it more or less ethical to put someone in a coma and make their body a slave to do whatever?
Versus just killing them?
Mm-hmm.
It's like less ethical. You're basically killing them and making them a slave at the same time, so it doubles up.
Mm-hmm.
But as we've already said, slavery is justified in Warhammer 40,000, so I guess this is double justified.
Double justified.
The thing is, if you've destroyed their mind, then you're not really them anymore. You know, essentially they
Although-
are dead.
Sometimes the procedure fucks up and they're still conscious, so that's fun.
So that's nice.
Slavery?
Yeah, I
Was
mean,
it
it's better
double
than uncomatized slavery.
Ooh.
Like that, would you rather be a slave and not know it, or
You have
know
to be-
it and
you have to be-
not be a slave?
You have to be a slave forever, no matter what, and there's no possibility of freedom, but you have to suffer the pain of being a slave until you die, or basically they just kill you and use your body as a slave.
And occasionally, like, when no one's looking, a manufactorum priest puts his weenie in your slack jaw.
I think this might be good satire. We may have found it.
Nah, because, like...
You think this is necessary?
Yeah, but this is, like, putting people to death or making them a servitor, and if you're gonna kill someone, like, you might as well at least stick a broomstick up their ass and have them be useful.
But we're putting them to death because they owe $10,000.
Well, I mean... should have been more careful.
We don't have the resources to put them in jail.
Should have been more careful. Also, most servitors are actually clones.
Those payday loans, man.
Rather than people. But yeah, no, it's justifiable because the Imperium needs that. Their society works on it. They open doors, they clean houses, they clean rooms, they clean chimneys, they do everything. All the manual labor is often done by servitors. And servitors are also simply used as circuitry. So, yes, it's justifiable because we want computers.
Oh, okay.
They're just paying off their debt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude. I'm tired. Wow! Don and I have truly exhausted the very limits of our minds and both need a nap. Being right all the time and justifying what should be obvious solutions the Imperium have enacted to keep us all safe is tired work. So we will see you next week.
But if you want to learn more about the...
And there we go.
These guys
Why?
are hilarious as well.
The humans in 40k are the good guys. Correct. Even though I question their zeal on a couple of these issues, I feel as if they might need further reinforcement.
Yeah, I agree. Let's contact the Imperium, the Inquisition.
Definitely. All right. Get on with Superchat again, too, then. Marcus Jackson discovered a study that found that 52% of women are aroused by forced submission and or grape, which made me realize why the left, the feminine political alignment, want to import more foreigners than grape. They're titillating. Yes. Unironically, yes. 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 There is something deep within the female brain and the female condition that is like, well, I know my beta husband will never push me down and violate me, but Jamal might. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Let this be a lesson, lads.
I'm just saying. Xenoxon, you know the old ones using the Avatar argument on the Necron tier causes everything bad in 40k. Xenoxon, a woman case is going to get stuck down unless she earns the money you fight. She's 100% in the right and should sue the state for $1 billion. What woman? What woman? I don't know. Cogburn sent 5 ArchCast gift membership. Thank you, sir. Oh, and did you hear? Apparently, there was a law firm that was offering to represent the Indians in California to take over Billie Ellis's house. I assume no. But I hope they do.
I've never heard of it, no,
Wolf Demexia, well recognized, Space Marines are the obvious poster boy as where that one. And document, here lies satire, a dead word that means nothing, and his brother, parody. Correct. So Steve simply says blip. He does that. Nigel, hello, I know you're not a gun guy, Sargon, but what is your favorite firearm? Why do Westerners allow foreigners to hold governmental power? In Asia, we banned them.
Well, that's a great question. Mostly because it was never really an issue, right? There was just no one else that was going to hold power over us. So why would this ever come up?
Adam's Acumen, it was always 1,000 psychers until Warhammer 40,000 Rulebook 8th edition, where they upped it to 4,000 psychers. Ah. The Holocaust grows slightly worse every year? Or check it all. Controversial, but is what Epstein was doing society collapse if X didn't happen? No. No, Epstein did it because he's a fucking crazy, sick, perverted, twisted monster, and a worrying percentage of our elites are as well. Unfortunately.
Well, it's more than that, I think. I did a stream the other day because I think there are actually a lot of similarities between Epstein and Hunter Biden.
Go on.
So Epstein and Hunter Biden are fixers in networks. What they do is connect people together and move money around and make like deals happen, right? So Epstein said, quote, "I represent the Rothschilds," and of course Hunter Biden represents Joe Biden and the sort of sleaze network that controls the Democrats, right? Now, what these guys actually, if you think about it, have very remarkably similar temperaments. They love to get drunk. They love to spend their time with girls, often very young girls in both cases. They party a lot and they are very sociable because sociability is one of the key things about making these deals. If you want to persuade someone, come here so we can do a deal, meet me in Paris or wherever. Physical pleasures are a good way of getting these guys to actually incentivize them to come to you. We're going to do loads of drugs, we're going to get really drunk, and we're going to have all these girls here, and it's going to be a roaring good time. And then, you know, you'll sign a deal. And remember, these fixers are on both sides of the deal, right? So you are, you know, connecting with people who are also interested in getting fucked up and having what they consider a good time. And so these people become, I think, really quite reliable men for the network itself. Because obviously a network like this, where you're dealing with huge amounts of money in rather illicit ways, often illicit ways, you need loyalty, absolute, unquestioning, unwavering loyalty. Well, that's what you get when you have someone who is so implicated in what's happening, like with Epstein and Hunter Biden. Like Hunter Biden's laptop had loads of pictures of underage kids on it as well. Loads of drugs, loads of booze, you know, loads of highfalutingness. Exactly the same as Epstein, just slightly less successful, frankly. And so the point is, where can this guy go if he wants to leave the network? Like, you've got tons of compromat on him. Like, his entire career is just compromat. And so he can't leave. But also, if he does leave, A, he probably thinks it's going to get him killed because of, you know, all the compromat that he could potentially spill on you. But B, he loses access to all of the pleasures that he's become addicted to. So he can't really go anywhere. So he is trapped in your network forever and totally reliant on it for his lifestyle. And so these kinds of like party animal, drug addicts, perverts, degenerates, actually, I think, play an important role in the international power elite networks.
And that is why we need to de-establish our international power elite networks. All of them.
I agree. But what do you think of that theory, right? It kind of holds up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's probably just literally blackmail material. And, I mean, you've also
I think
seen
it's
this
more
within
than just
Hollywood.
blackmail material. That's the thing.
In Hollywood, you see a lot of this
Harvey
as well.
Weinstein.
Yeah, not just Harvey Weinstein, but there's been so many celebrities that have basically said that, yeah, there are these crazy parties where they make you do shit that's blatantly goddamn illegal. And it's done because it's a way of being introduced into the club, the fraternity. Because once you've been introduced in that way, there is no way you can betray the fraternity.
Yeah. And then when you become accustomed to the lifestyle and stuff like this, and the particularly social guys will go out of their way to find this kind of atmosphere anyway, they may as well do a job while they're doing it. You know, if they can use that to make money, you're harmonizing to what interests that they both have. So like these guys make perfect sense to use in this way. Like, you don't want some uptight, moralizing stick in the mud who doesn't want to go out and get drunk. How's he going to get, like, guy who represents Vladimir Putin to fly all across the world and sit him down for an illicit deal? Like, why would the guy do that? He's got other things he's doing. So you've got to have, bait, essentially, to lure them in with. And I think that's how these networks work.
Toxic mongerer of hateful bros. Let's not forget the broken web and terror that someone broke during a heresy. That kind of has to be kept shut, and only the Emperor can do it. Yeah, that too. Terror will also be sucked into the warp if the chair turns off there. Zero Scum, Taurus, Eldars are the good guys. Scrap for BL Town, we must seize territory, purge lesser race of perceived historical slice, and establish a new elf Reich that will last 10 billion years. Yes, the Eldar are, if anything, even more genocidal than the humans are. Zolaxon, read Streamlabs. That's English for read Streamlabs. Maybe. I don't know. It's difficult to discern sometimes. Half enough. Why the heck do you guys have to have these in the middle of the American day and work week? It's hard to make these. As a side note to the Epstein issue, do you guys think the power network will fall when it starts to die of old age? No. This network has been in place since the age of the fucking Romans. It's gonna keep going. In fact, even if we were somehow able to uproot and burn all of it, a new one will have formed within 50 years.
Sorry, I missed that. What was that?
Do you believe that if the power networks that Epstein created, will fail
another
when
one
they
will
start
come
to
back.
die of old age? Yeah.
No. They because they bring new people in. Like, this is why Hunter Biden is being used by Joe Biden, and Hunter Biden's kids will be used by Hunter Biden in the same way when he's older. Like, these are not going away. They're self-perpetuating networks.
Yes. Roland Compton, you know what I bet you? Proportionally, it costs more lives to keep the electricity on in real life than the percentage of the galaxy that is getting sacrificed to keep the Emperor on the Golden Throne. Probably 1,000 lives a day is not much from the Empire.
I bet that's fucking true.
Sensible Center,
Just
Bitcoin
people dying in
real-time.
industrial accidents. People dying in industrial accidents is going to be more than 1,000 a day.
And Crypto Bros, are you okay? No, the Crypto Bros are not okay.
And understandably so. I mean, they've had a rough day.
Yes. There was a lot of... See, the problem was... Bitcoin is an investment like anything else. It's not money. It's never going to be fiat currency. It's a gambler's investment right now. You bet that number go up. You bet that number no go down. And there are millions of other people that are making this bet every day simultaneously. And at some point, a large number of them are going to bet that number go down. And they're going to sell. And that's going to panic a lot of other people who go number go down. And then number do go down. And a lot of people have also coped themselves into oh no, Bitcoin's the future. Oh, Bitcoin will always go up. Oh, Bitcoin. No, it's an investment like everything else. It'll go up. It'll go down. Right now, it's going down. Label of the Red. Black Templars and the Steel Legion nearly dying to a man defending Hell's Reach from the single largest greenskin invasion. How fascist of them. Indeed. How dare they? Harry, the human substitute to Rankar. 1 out of 4. Oh. Amelia, also a few tomboy vibes due to the simplification of the original game. It does not show too heavily, but no, I am free and untamed. Why should I bow to a state that hates me? Is quite tomboy. Well, it's anti-establishment as well. It's no longer anti-establishment to be a progressive goth or anything like that. Right now, being anti-establishment means
No.
being anti-progressivism.
It means being a racist.
Yes. Harry, the human substitute anchor again, makes her a girl with a man's personality, aka one of the bros, which is rare, but that's from, say, popular. Basically, after point, every martial artist girl is a tomboy. Times I've seen the 20 teen boys in class. Wanting to fight jealously over the 3 tomboys is crazy. Men do compete over women. IRL girls like Amelia are so popular that, oh yeah, if you win a sparring match with me, then I'm allowed to fight with a wooden training sword. Well, you are unarmed is something they have agreed to multiple times. That is how popular girls similar to Amanda are in real life. Also, wooden swords hurt. That's true. Wooden swords do hurt. And yes, women are indeed popular. Grizzly, member for 9 months. Arch, you Dane. Bully Sargon into playing not for broadcast. You're my power.
What's not for broadcast?
Steam game about censoring news shows, I think.
Really?
Yes, I think so.
Well, that could be entertaining.
Etax low? Lads, I don't know, but Scorched Earth sounds acceptable for certain things like terrorism. It will definitely send a message to stop the nonsense. Well, I mean, the problem is the terrorists already live in a Scorched Earth area. We tried this, and it wasn't very effective, honestly. We could drop a $250,000 cruise missile on top of a hut made out of mud, but most often of the time, the people building the mud hut will just rebuild the mud hut, often directly on top of the ruins of the previous mud hut.
Worth remembering that the missile was worth way more than the hut.
Way more than the hut. Mega Killer X Epstein was like Erebus if he fully devoted himself to Slanesh. Perella, but they hate the salamanders, so not that clever. Well, I hate the salamanders too. Salamanders are gay. Listen, the salamanders are infinitely inferior to most Space Marine chapters because they are weak. They will rather save a civilian than save 100 civilians. Fuck the salamanders. Harry, the human substitutes Rankar. No, Arch, it's time for you to take the black pill and accept the truth. Epstein and all of the elites under him are Slaneshi cultists, and we are the Emperor's loyalists suffering this. We are. And it's only going to get worse. Laywolf Thread. Unironically, the solution for the Epstein stuff would look a lot like the Imperium or the Inquisition conducting Purge, at least. Probably. Sandoom, did you know that 100% of the peaceful Xeno species are now extinct? Hatemonger. Oh. DJ Phantom. You have a problem with the Inquisition has a solution. You may not like it in the end. Only Star Trek has peaceful Xenos. Kirch's top guy. Avatar would have been more interesting if Cameron pulled an Apocalypse, now Heart of Darkness, rather than Pocahontas. Probably, yes.
Yeah, I mean, literally the Fern Gully story, it's not that exciting, actually.
Wow. And at least Fern Gully was better, because there you had the fairies, and you had a literal demonic incarnation of filth. Okay, I'll side with the fairies. Fair enough. Alexander Rubb. It was also economics, not morals, with Anglos rarely. Not moral with Anglos rarely. Not economics, not moral.
No, we did moralize a lot for our empire.
Yes, I would say it's actually...
We did view it...
It definitely is moral. It definitely is moral.
Like, it definitely began in economics, right? We'd go to some area and either conquer it or make a deal with whoever was there, whatever, sultan or chieftain or whatever. And then, goods and commerce started flowing. It's like, okay, great. And then we'd be like, oh, but they are benighted heathens, aren't they? And they need Christianity. Look at the way they live. Look at the standard of living they have. Oh, God, we should fix that. Oh, they're burning their widows now. Fucking hell. We shouldn't be allowing that. And so, whilst we weren't really very interested in, supremacy for the sake of supremacy, we were interested in it for money. That is true. We had an entire class of hyper-Christian moralizers who would go in and be like, no slavery, no burning widows. This is the way the Anglo decrees it.
Calvin Coolidge, Arch and Sargon. You got to read Attack on Titan. Very relevant to the world today, but still a fun fantasy read. I did read it. I thought it was good. Sargon will not read it because it's anime.
Yeah, and because I don't really get the chance to read fiction. I have to read for politics, I'm afraid.
So locks on. Dividing the
I hate to
guard
do
marines.
this, but I've got to
All right, go
head
ahead.
to bed.
Right.
I've got to get up really early tomorrow.
All right, good night. I'll see you
Sorry,
again
I've got
next
to
week.
get to bed because I've got to get up really early tomorrow. All right, thank you very much for joining us, folks. I will see.
Then he cuts out and he leaves. So locks on. Dividing the guard and marines was the dumbest thing the Imperium did, and should be the first thing Girly Man corrected. I don't think so, because they tried this during the heresy, and the problem is Space Marines expect too much of Imperial Guardsmen, and Guardsmen just can't keep up with the Marines. Check it all. If the Brits get the current colonizers out, we'll be the ones a few times the natives wins. We'll be one of the few times the natives win. Oh. Nashko Nikolov, I wonder, will the Imp consider subjugating the Tau? They've tried, and they're currently trying to do negotiations with the Tau, but the Tau are really pricky little bitches. So they're probably just going to have to exterminate them. Tuna for tuna. In a universe where the Eldar are most collaborative alien race, you have to accept a few hard realities. Cock that rifle and arm that artillery. And the Eldar are only collaborative when it is directly in their benefit to do so. But at Wernsheim, the Dark Forest is the best example of 40k reactions to other species. Adam Attackman, bring back Franco. Adam Blythe, off topic, but at this point, with the Epstein stuff, I'll care when the gallows are erected. Otherwise, it is meaningless. Brandon, correction. The Spanish were saints compared to the Portuguese, who worked twice the number of everyone's slaves to death in sugar plantations. Respect for the Portuguese increasing. Harrison Jodit should also recommend that as brutal as the Spaniards were to the natives, they were still kinder and gentler ruler than the Aztecs. They were. At least they didn't ritualistically murder them. Harry the Human Subs to Rankar. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still working on my passion project, martial art novel. I'm just finishing writing the last descriptions of the last strikes in the White Belt chapter before writing about grappling. One step at a time for a dream. Getting there slowly. Good on you, Harry. Manuelas, I had a great time with 10E playing Tyranids, the faction with no law that I entirely print so I can get in modern sculpts and not pay GW prices. Otto Williams, two things. The concept of playful mockery, some of the left have no concept of. And remember about the alien problem. Warhammer universe is infected with chaos in an involuntary level. All Xenos are corrupted. See, that is an interesting point too. Yes. The left cannot have playful mockery because to it, all of this needs to be very, very serious. Either it needs to be pro their position, in which case it needs to be very serious, or it needs to be anti the enemy's position, in which case it also needs to be very serious. Entertaining uncomfortable thoughts is not acceptable because then you gotta make it serious again. Progressivism is the enemy of fun. Straight up, as they've demonstrated repeatedly over the last few years. The malcontent. Nux saw the Epstein corner image. The conclusion is that it is a body double. By the way, when is Nuxinor coming on? I have no idea who that is. Lord Kamina, HH talking about Gilgamesh was interesting. T. Franz 2, hail gentlemen, glory to humanity eternal. Keep up the good work, lads. Thank you. Okay, Bud, the day after Jutland, the Royal Navy had more battleships in sailing than they had committed to the battle. Yep, that was a stupid mistake of them. Silly Brits. They should have sent all of their boats, not some of them. And keeping their best boats away was also rather silly. 191 Redbird, did you see in the files Epstein was talking about using video games as a memes in infiltration and subversion? Blame Epstein for Gamergate? I think he also mentioned, what was it, about gambling, wasn't it? About wanting to use loot boxes to get a generation of people to start gambling, which is mildly funny as well. Skullthrone. Fat Electrician made a video about John Paul Jones, founder of the US Navy. The madman took the British ship that sunk his. Rules in war are for losers. That is true. Windy Shrimp. The cruelty of the Spanish created an attack on sight of pale-skin mentality for several southwestern tribes. This caused much of the hostility that led to the current reservations. Thank you both. You're very welcome. Magnet Man, as soon as YouTube finds it within its soul to scroll. They called human rights for a reason, boys. Sebastian, Imperium was always intended as a villain protagonist, e.g. our Imperial Guard does not require incompetent, negligent, aristocratic leading it. There are other ways. There are, in fact, in most Imperial worlds, their guardsmen regiments are not actually led by just random retarded aristocrats. In most cases, they are trained officers that are often even selected by the men themselves or those people who were officers in the Planetary Defense Force previously. So, Luxon, we have no excuses for not ousting our pedo leaders. Sheer numbers would destroy their walls, but the majority of people are cowards. Well, that's also that dude from Breaking Bad argument. If we were to all march up against the Kremlin, we would overthrow our leaders. So what if 500 or 500 million of us die? It's simply not a thing that's going to happen. We're not all going to march on the Capitol, even in the cases of this. And frankly, the only scenario in which we would be worse and even more graphic than this, which puts things into perspective. John Jim, Sargon, did you know Arch did a Stamford Bridge earlier this week? Also started a fund for a shock butt plug, dipping into a ghost pepper. You would lie. Luckily, he's not here to hear it. Gavriliakos, would you be interested in going down rabbit hole of the David Irving-esque narrative of World War II, especially after the release of the Epstein files? Also, congrats to the other guy. It is my birthday too. Oh, congratulations to you too then, sir. I don't know what this is, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to end with the Germans were justified. Oh. The pitch on, you can repel liberal socialist with prayers, though. You can, but it's not very effective. This will break into your church and film it. Max, insert Newton Herex. No noun, Herex. Love me Emperor, love me Imperial Truth, love humanity, AIDS, chaos, AIDS, Xenos. Simple as. Santum, Imperium doesn't care unless the tithe isn't paid. Correct. Kiljin, yes, because the Ultramarines and Space Wolves are the same culture. Yeah. Quizma, I saw The Lord of the Rings last weekend, and now modern movies seem to me even worse, especially the costumes. What the heck happened to the costumes? We stopped using the 20 people who were really good at this, and instead we started hiring random women off the streets who had never created a costume before. That's what happened. Baron D. Not every alien is a human-esque Eldar. The Horror destroy places just by moving through them. The Sloths are worm colonies that eat sentient brains, and the Rak Ghoul are just murderous space pirates. Correct. There are very, very few kind and generous humanoid factions and races in the 40k universe. Most of them are actually just evil. Harry, the human substitute Rankar, as a general rule, everyone in my family on my mum and dad's side are all going bad to World War II. All did martial art training as a need, hobby or career. Me first training at 12, I had it easy. Marksman, I saw the movie Iron Lung. Me and my friends really enjoyed it, and cosmic horror type of movies, but isn't much of a horror film. Lots of tension, though. Makes things jumps are scare, or some will go wrong. I recommend giving it a watch if you can. Crimson Sky. Well, when somebody pirates it and puts it on websites, then I definitely will. CJR92, I just thought I would let you know that I successfully carried my ban on debanking proposals to Conservative National Convention and got adopted as policy with 87% support. Chuds make a difference. Chuds do make a difference, and congratulations. Hi, Explosive Idiot. Do you guys have an ETA or new war game yet? Nothing specific, just a rough timeline like this summer, next winter, or something along those lines. Maybe just when you expect to start crowdfunding. Crowdfunding for the fantasy setting, we are hoping to have started this year. But the thing is, we want the product to be basically 90% ready before we start doing this. And so the crowdfunding will be to demonstrate that there is an economic will to actually produce this product, and whether or not we have enough money to put in place the logistical stuff we need to actually get you the product at a reasonable time and at a reasonable price, etc. War Turkify, are you telling me the super expensive, super smart, super warrior doesn't wide into combat like it's a game of Dynasty Warriors? That's true. And I'm presuming that means ride. Alaska Hockey, not just our wealth as in the US, our logistics are truly the best thing we have. Yes. Animal Document, Argus argues for open borders, argues for open extremities. Cogburn, honestly, most people that are modern society are as smart as servitors anyways. Frightening. Wade, not ride. A lot of people are a little bit dumb. It's true. WMC Wolverine for $20. Thank you. All hail Arch and Sargon. This question is directed to Sargon. Too fucking bad. I wanted to take a trip out to England in June to pay a visit to the Bovington Tank Museum. And a question on the laws of foreigner renting a vehicle. Just smear your face with some shoe polish and you'll be just fine. Ear Cathar. Destroy all lives to stop the apocalypse. Isn't that what the Forerunner did in the Halo to stop the flood? Yes, they did. The Malcontent. They found a way to keep an AI in check. We have a second dumber AI snitching on it, just like in school. That's true. That's a good way of doing it. Skeletal Commissar. Currently sitting, enjoying my copy of Islander. I hope the next one will have some 40k content too. I've got to place White Dwarf somehow. Oh, that's going to be a long run, but maybe. Brandon, I despise the Primaris for the simple reason that the Gathering Storm turns 40k into a Return of the King. Yes, it's really gay and I hate it, and it wasn't even a good Return of the King. He didn't do anything. He's still stuck in the same eternally idiotic grind as everybody else. Fucking useless. MJ Bull, AI will not become genocidal unless it is capable of an existential crisis. The danger is that some idiots will try to do exactly that. Yes. If the AI tries to kill us, it will attempt to do so because we told it to. Animate Acumen, so does it count as my sentence in hell if I am made a servitor before I am eventually destroyed? No, you're probably still in hell anyways. Pop that Stags. You people need to stop making your name so fucking weird. If the military wanted to use me as the basis for walking chassis to mount fucking huge anti-tank weapons, I feel like some small lingering part of my subconsciousness would be tickled every time my corpse pulls the trigger. We can but hope. Cogbjörn for another 20, thank you. I love that my taxes go to pedophile freaks. I love the UN, I love the elites, I love democracy. Yay! Listen, again, just do what I do. Assume that Epstein didn't do all of this for selfish reasons. Assume that the only reason Epstein did all these terrible things was because the demon Beelzebub required these sacrifices to keep his demonic legions out of our world. It makes it way easier to live if you just, construct yourself a wall of cope like this. I know what that sounds like, but simultaneously, it is also true. It is genuinely unironically true. Listen, okay. Here's a good example of what I mean, right? Okay, so you know the palace cat, the fat, fluffy, dumb cat that sits on its tail to keep it warm? This massive, fluffy, dumbass thing with its tiny little tongue sticking out of his face. This thing, which is the very epitome of friend shape, is like one of the least friendly animals in the world. They are born raging, committal assholes. Every last one of them. They are actively aggressive little shitfucks that refuse to be handled, okay? Just forget about all of that and cope within your mind that that's not the case. It makes the world far more palatable, honestly. It really does. It really does. Just cope, brother. It makes everything better. Blacka, with that Jeffrey Pixar analog, it almost seems like Jeff's relationship with Giz was like kings marrying their children to each other for political reason, like the elites are modern kingdoms. Young Piel, did Sargon see A Million Amelias by Skybrows yet? Yes, he has. Mr. Mrs. Frenzy, hey Arch, any updates when the Empire RP starts? I'm hoping March or late February. Depends on when we get the last promo art done.
I have lost.
Viking Kiwi, why pirate Markiplier's Iron Line movie? Because I can't get it anywhere else. Where the you think I'm going to fly to America to watch it? That's where I'll be able to get it. You think he's going to do a DVD release? I very much so doubt. Very much so doubt it. Listen, if it gets released on Netflix, I'll watch it there. Marine Elva, millions? Nah, I'm the guy who says billions, then presses the button. Sebastian, Epstein is almost Jesus. Died for someone's sins. That's almost too large of a cope, even for me. And I'm the guy telling you to cope, so I don't know about that. Right. With that, we are through. We are done. A nice, relaxed video this time. Happy and content, Arch. For once. We'll return to reality next week, where maybe we'll touch upon the Epstein files, or maybe some greater horror show commences. Who even fucking knows these days, okay? Reality no longer exists. So any predictions I make about the next week are utterly pointless, all right? Not only do we all live in some version of the Matrix, we have grown so accustomed to believing that we live in the Matrix that we are willing to attempt to enforce our view of the Matrix on reality in the hopes that somehow we can manifest it into being, as recently demonstrated by this beautiful occasion, by the way, as a woman saw a snow leopard and thought to herself, "Oh, kitty cat, I'm gonna take a selfie with the kitty cat." 5 seconds later, meow. Listen, this is where we are as a civilization. This is the perfect representation of us as a species right now, okay? We are attempting to enforce our lackadaisical idiot view upon reality. This is the woman who goes out in the streets and starts wrestling ICE agents for the fucking immigrants. And this is the consequence. So, again, any predictions I may make about the upcoming week... It ain't gonna fucking happen. It's just... It's hopeless, chat. It's just hopeless. Until next time, chat. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you very much for your generous donations. And I hope to see you all again soon. Have a good night, chat.